I'll take a sip of my Corona beer tonight because we are not getting cancelled. It's time for the Rocket Kingdom National Championships here for week 1 of the Premier Division. I am the Eternal J. I'm joined by Danny Boy to kick things off. Your lovely, beautiful faces here. How are you doing, my man?
Well, I'm injected with everything so positive, and it's going to be ice cold full of action, Jay. So why don't we just go straight into the action?
Indeed, I think we should. We have 4 best of 5s up for you today to take a look-see at who we've got up first for the stream today. We have Moose Matt Q will be appearing twice on the channel. They're taking on the Milkmen first things here, Danny. So quite an interesting set of names to get things kicked off. We're not wasting any time into jumping into the matchup itself. We'll see the Moose Matt guys on the blue side and Milkmen over on orange. As Oryx tries to take that first defensive, but it's Boys School Q taking that first shot. The offensive pressure certainly favouring the Moose Matt Q side, but Xeon and Co try and counter-attack quickly over to that blue half. Had a good shot coming in from Oryx, who's actually on target, but Boys School Q there. The defensive Noseye tries to recover, and Noah is not in position to save.
Well, not surprised there at all, Boys School Q. Decent attempt here, Magoo, hopeless, and Noah. Well, he must have been caught with some deadly Varus there. Was too sluggish to get out of bed there. Horrible positioning, Jay.
20 seconds in, the opener for the Milkman side, and I would have believed that Moose Matt Q would have held the major advantage in the early part of things, obviously. These are guys very known here in the bubble scene, but Noseye and Co are really bringing the fight to them. 2-0 for the Milkmen to kick things off.
Expecting a decent series, as you said. No one in the bubble scene so far. They haven't even shown up here, Jay. It's just disgraceful for the first 30 seconds.
Well, it is only early days, and obviously slight delays getting into this matchup, so let's see whether the warm-ups can give Moose Matt Q the way back in. For now, it is Boys School Q here in the corner. Got the pass back over to Noah, taken away by Oryx, as Magoo puts this one to the backboard, taken away by Xeon in the end on the defensive. Noah also with a missed challenge. Boys School against Noseye. Good challenge coming in from him, and Magoo will set this up for Boys School to take this to the backboard, but only going so far with it. The defensive holds. Pass into Noah, could find a strike. No, he's bumped out of the way. Still gets an official shot on target, but it's saved by Xeon here.
Well, a decent little pass and play there coming through, but the Moose side themselves here, Jay, they've just getting these balls. Yes, it was a decent shot. Yes, it was considered an official shot, but shooting straight at the keeper, foolish, unworthwhile. Well, that is the case. Oh, this is just scandalous. They need to do better here. Slow little defensive touches here aren't even working when they're on the offense here. They might as well just pass to them.
And Noseye had a perfect, nice line down the center. Easy taking control of the double commit there from Noah, throwing Boys School Q off guard. Not sure who was supposed to take that shot, but either way, Oryx will find a counter-attack. It is defended by Magoo in this case. Boys School Q also challenged to the sideboard, will get taken to the other side of the field, and Noah's got to come out of defense. The challenge on Oryx, he gets it to the back, in towards Xeon. Good shot on target, again will be saved, however. Set up for Noseye to take another backboard play in towards Oryx as well. Not going to happen, they've overcommitted to this one, and Boys School Q with a simple clear downfield would have gotten that ball in, but no, Xeon caught on the respawn, I believe that was, able to get the save in regardless of what it was for the Milkmen side. Still 2-0 until Noah goes ahead and does that.
Well, it was a nice little idea. He'll run the play. A good, decent 50 here, and Jay, there's usually a moment when Bacon always says, don't clear into the middle. Well, I think that would just be a perfect picture of that one. Just good read by Noah, but other than that, there was nothing there to praise about.
The kickoff from Xeon, though, already getting himself set up for a decent goal, but Boys School Q will clear that one out. That one is a little bit left in the middle. Doesn't matter too much. Noseye will be able to get that one wide with a quick save coming through, but for Moose Matt Q, this is a start. Obviously not really having the best of times over against the Milkmen side. Xeon there with a demo in, and Magoo will try and wrap back around, set up again to the backboard. Boys School Q, excuse me. Also Noah there in the midfield to try and receive it, but no real good clears coming out from the Moose Matt side. It's just Noseye putting this one back over to the box, and the pressure will start to kick up here for the Milkmen. When they have this, it could be very difficultly broken, but Magoo returning back to that orange half is not going to allow them to lock it in so easy here.
Noah's actually lost possession there. Yes, it's keeping pressure here, but Boys School Q can't even keep his basically foot onto the ball. And you can see the Moose Man just rotating all the way to, just dropping deep back here. Another game of Magic just trying to get this ball around here. And that's actually the first real passing play trying to break through the defense in Boys School Q. Oh, that should have been to a piece.
Double committing alongside Magu as well. Nozai coming up, tees it off against one, but Boys School Q can return. Noah unable to receive it. Oryx puts it back in. Boys School here with going to be abusing the miss of Neon back there. And that will be a second on the board here for the Moose Mat side. So eventually finding the equalizer against the Milkman.
Yeah, it's about 10-2 X on there, moving far too much up as well. Again, the pass moving into the middle is just worthless. It's just you be into the corner or a deep screw into the back post. Although not to a pace here. We talked about the slow starts, as you said, Jay. Yes, that's what is the case. It's just whether they can keep on going. And again, the Moose side near enough giving a sloppy goal back right at them.
Are inside the corner now. Getting out two of the offending players, but Nozai can put this one out to the right-hand field. Oryx and Xeon, however, caught on rotation. Xeon going to get beaten out by Boys School to the backboard, and that one was put directly in the path of Noah. Again to the backboard, bumps in, second touch not going to be allowed. The third man commitment here from Magu will take it to the corner board, bounce back to the center, but no more boost left on the Moose Mat side to go for the shot down in. Could set up here from Magu over to Boys School, not going to happen. Nozai quickly is able to counter it and put it back over to the orange corner instead. Xeon also trying to wrap around. 100 boost picked up. Magu will continue to press forward. Pass into the center line. Boys School Q with a beautiful shot, and no one is prepared to defend it from the Milkmen side.
Yeah, there's a swizzily taken here. Magoo should get all the credit realistically here. Boy had the simpler two options. Just get it past the first one. Second one was never going to reach it with that amount of power behind it too. Just simply hold the ball, park the balls, and we should have a very expected 1-0 series lead.
30 seconds and Oryx will try set up a play back in, but it's quickly countered and shot upon Sion there with a good save. But Oryx now needing to find his way back out into the blue half, and Noah's not going to let that happen. Neither is Boys School. Off the backboard to the right-hand side, 10 seconds left, and Sion will continue to press forward, try and get one final counter-attack into the backboard. No one's going to defend this. This could be awkward. It's put out in awkward positions, though. Good defensive from Moose Mat, even though initially it looked like it might not have held. In the end, the Milkmen will still try and keep this one going. Xeon keeping this one off the floor crease alongside Nozai, who takes it back passive, and on the floor it will go. A first game being scored by Moose Mat Q.
Yeah, it's one of those series here. Slow start here really did play detriment here to them, Jay. Well, it is the case, it didn't affect them much. They still got the win. That's the most important thing. Should set themselves up here, but I wouldn't mind it. I seen them. They're on the friends list here, and frankly, Boy wasn't warming up. Magoo didn't see him warming up. The only one was Noah, so they need to be playing at least 15-30 minutes before this first match here. They knew what they were coming into, and yet it just showed them at the first 2 minutes.
In the end, it was still going to be a win for the blue side of the pitch, so let's not give them too much hell, I don't think. Meanwhile, for the Milkmen, they did have a nice solid start to kick things off. They were unable to come forward and convert it into a game. It's Magu and Noah. Nishijar just kick things off on the defensive, and again, the kickoffs are going really well for the Milkmen side. Oh, Nozai! All right, okay. That's a good one, son. One on the board for the Milkmen.
Oh, this is beautiful. Played it around Noah. What were you thinking? Just one simple touch, move it away. If you don't have a call your third man, play it into the corner. Hopeless play so far from them.
Well, these kickoffs as well. See how far the Milkmen are getting it into the blue half, and look at Magu doing his best to return. Okay, well, missed positions all the same there from the orange side of the pitch as Moose Mat Q do return within 10 seconds. Okay, back to square one here, Danny.
Yeah, it's about time. It's sloppy 2 goals, 20 seconds gone off the clock. Hopefully they can clean things up, Jay. It's just despicable for meant to be the Premier Division of the UK and Ireland scene.
Into the midfield, Nozai's going to try and return. He has some very good players coming through. Xeon, a great shot. Boys School in position to save that one though. A difficult defensive, but one that's held either way. Xeon So over to the right-hand side. Nozai is going to miss out the touch. So is Oryx here, but into the midfield it will go regardless. Goes in, Oryx booms it back down the other end of the field. Boys School can't take control. Zeon will try to, alongside Oryx pressing forward. Good block off there from Magu, but Zeon still in with a decent shot. Boys School able to read that ball's path pretty well. The backboard players again coming in will not be allowed for a strike back. Oryx will block it over at the midfield, and Milkman just scrambling around trying to see if they can spread the boys thin on the Moose Mat defensive, and so far it is coming very close to working, Danny.
It's absolutely perfectly played out there. You just seen Boys School Q forced onto the opposite side, try to play it around. The third man wouldn't even been able to cover. But this,
lovely.
Oh, it's just delicious. Just passed the ball, dropped it down, perfectly delivered too. It's just a shame the keeper just couldn't get up quick enough.
Now, lovely lurking there from Noah in that corner, just waiting for the Boys School Q to come out from the midfield and take the shot as soon as he came in. Nice pass up, as you say, beautifully done. But again, these kickoffs, I mean, if they're able to get into positions on the Milkman's side where they're able to, you know, put one player in that blue half, I can see a world in which they just score an immediate kickoff goal and just make all the progress from Moose Mat Q go away. Right now in the midfield, they're fighting for it. Pass down from Boys School in towards Magu, and that defensive was pretty atrocious. I won't lie there, Zeon. What you doing in the air, mate? That was the perfect opportunity to save, and you just weren't positioned for it.
Well, he had a really gamble, as Noah was taken up there into the air by Noah. Yes, he should have been onto the ground. Not a chance in the world was that anybody else was going to put that high. Why think that? You talked about originally in the kickoff, actually going against them this time. So there's a lot still to work here for both the two sides here, but the first time actually Moose Mat actually has a lead by 2. Let's see what they can do this time with it.
Bounce up, Boys School Q going to be missing out. Oryx will boom that one back downfield. Zeon's trying to get in the way and actually is able to bump it out. Allows Oryx a shot, but Noah, the other side of the net, going to get the save in. Boys School Q off the sideboard. Nozai puts it in. Boom on from Zeon. No one's in the back of the net, but the border's going wide of the net instead. No shots in, no potential goals. One will come out from Nozai there on the recovery position, but Noah there for the save, and Magu there for the clear away. Back into Boys School Q, a little bit further back of the ball. Magu will try and continue the contention here. Good challenge again from Nozai, again taking it over to the right-hand side. They can't quite seem to set up a decent shot here for the Milkmen.
This is wonderful. Nice little air dribble, forces the two defenders up and around. Just need to calm itself down here, but you can see this ball being peppered around. You talk about playing the line too thin. The only problem is here, if you look carefully, Boys School and know what they're usually just sitting a scissor-like technique here, just trying to move it, pinch it, and take it away here, but no defense. Oh, that could have been a moment.
Zeon unable to position his car correctly. He could not get the play into the net, so takes it wide to the right-hand side. Magu, similar sort of situation, actually, whiffing Noah's setup. Still going to play in from this corner, though. The ball back into Noah's position. He will try and find a shot in. Just back to Boys School Q, and again back to Noah as they have a little bit of boost in the reserves, but that'll be expended very quickly. Noah again centers it up, but Magu's not ready to receive it. Oryx will still miss out, and Magu's backed off, actually, so they're not going to continue the pressure too heavy here for the Moose Mat Q side. Playing towards the box as Boys School looks for his way in. It won't be allowed. And Zeon with no boost going to continue to carry it forward, or it's going to bump Noah out of the way, but he still gets the touch that he needs on that ball to deny the setup here. A minute and 20 to go, and it's still 2 to 5 for the Milkmen side. Trying to change the pace a little bit against Moose Mat Q, but if they do something drastic, they're going to be able to lose this game.
Well, Moose Mat Q has been simply outplayed at times here. You can always see Magu wrong position to back away, not pressuring the ball at the right times. And when you have a moment like this, oh, that's a spill right in front of the net, Jay, and it's just should be a simple ball once more. And Boys School Q, meant to be the best player on the pitch, playing almost like the worst.
There it is, a second for the Milkmen side, a single goal difference between them and Moose Mat Q, and a chance for Oryx to strike back to the backboard. He'll try and go. Boys School is not going to let that one go so far, though. Again, very simple defensive to hold, so he'll take it pretty confident here. 45 seconds on the clock as Noah takes this one high. Big miss from Boys School, should allow a clear in from Nozai, and he'll clear to the left-hand side of the field this time. Zeon moves in aggressive and tries to find his way back out. Good shot, missed out. Nozai sets it up. Oryx there to try and receive it. No, Boys School Q will get there first. And Magu challenges for midfield control successfully. The time ticks away here, away from the Milkmen's side. Zeon's going to try and go once again with an aerial triple, 50 points of boost. So close against Boys School, beats him out actually. Bumps in good T away off the post, and Nozai comes in. The three-man play for the Milkmen. Go 3-3 on the board.
Well, Magoo's touch there, scandalous. Noah and just Boys School Q just sitting there. Oh, it's just mistake after mistake after mistake, and it's just repetitive now here from Moosma. They need us to simply calm down, collect the play.
Oh!
And that kickoff that they got it would have been a miracle and a half. Deservedly not getting it here, and the Milkman deserves OT at least.
Noah and Magoo will try for one more. Boys School Q set up for the shot, blocked off by Oryx. Noah's going to continue the pressure. All three players now in the orange half and looking inside the box as well for two of them. Magoo will try to get back, but Boys School's no position to go ahead and keep this one alive. So I guess overtime is deserved, and that's exactly what they'll get here, Danny. But the kickoff's not going to go as well as they have done before for Milkmen. They haven't quite been able to find the shot down center like they had before. Oryx inside the corner initially. It's Magoo set up, however, to take this back against Nozai. He'll get a quick save in. Zeon all the same against Boys School Q. He'll actually pull shot that ball back over to the orange corner. The Moosemat doing their best to be a thorn in the side for the Milkmen, but the early 30 seconds have left a lot of pressure in the Moosemat half, so I think Milkmen have been the ones at the advantage so far, Danny.
Absolutely, they played it to perfection once more again. Little passes played, just short ones. Not unfortunately finding each other just perfectly well, but not a big fan of these long distance clear though. Yes, it gets the pressure away. Yes, it gets your chance to get pushed, reset, but it's again, Moosemat are able to deal with it perfectly. And that back pass, well, I think it would be generous to call that even, but with 1 minute played here, I think the tide might be slowly turning.
Ball up, and Zeon passes out to Nozai. Good play off the backboard. Boys School Q with a miss, but Zeon could not position himself in correctly. So it's back over to the midfield, and Nozai wrapping around alongside Oryx there in the corner position. You're going to try bump Boys School out of the way. If Oryx can take control, flicks it up. Zeon's way too far back. Does bounce off the post for him, so he'll try to go for a shot off the crossbar. Three players in that net. It's not looking like the best team formation, so Oryx will continue the recovery alongside Nozai into the corner. Follow up. Oh, what a touch! Nozai somehow bringing the Thunder back with some fantastic playing out here. Watch this again. 4-3 on the board for Milkmen at 1 minute 34. They're taking game two.
The moment you said all three was in the net there, I was just sitting there going, I wonder how long they're going to concede for it. It was like dominoes. It was just waiting to be knocked over. Oh, just that shot, the placement on perfect. Piece of the resistance on that one, but with 4-3 here, Jay. I'm not saying game one it was slightly shaky here. I think 1-1's a fair reflection so far how the series has went. Wouldn't want to take anything away from the Milkman side here. Just the only thing I would like to see, a little bit more crisper on the passing. Other than that, they may actually have a good chance winning the series from here on out.
What looked like a confident start from the Milkmen side turned sour in the end. Looks like it might be a bit more left in the tank for them. Moosemat Q 1-1 on their board here as they look to kick things off in game three in a much more confident state. So they've got a second match coming up after this on stream, so the pressure will certainly get to them. Noah sideboards it. Zeon puts it into the midfield. Nozai can follow suit once again. Second touch against Magoo will get blocked off here. Initial defensives come to fruition for Moosemat. And Boys School Q will do his best to challenge onto Oryx. Noah to the sideboard. Actually bumps Oryx out of the way. Might open up a bit of a gap here. Zeon's the only man to defend it. And Magoo, oh, bumping plays. They still get it off the backboard. Moosemat Q is such a great opportunity and such a great sequence. Just wasted at the last hurdle.
What's even was worse about that little play too was Boys School Q. Right position, even with that bump coming off, ricochets from the backboard. Decided to move too much forward and he lost all that opportunity. Could have had that goal as a reward. And back in defensive work, got the long clear, and we're now just battling for possession where we could have easily been talking about the next kickoff too.
Demo's out. Oryx over to the midfield. Noah sets it up, and Nozai also able to receive. Goes back off the backboard for this one. Magoo there to block it. Way too high the shot anyway, so they had to take control here on the Moose Mat side, because again, the majority of the pressure is favorable to the Milkmen squad. Plays up again. Oh, second touch is going to go wide. Great challenges again to try and counter-attack, but so far no pressure. Noah back in the boys' school queue. What a shot! And what a pass to kick things off finally for the blue side of the court.
About time that 50 was played to perfection. Good awareness by Noah. And again, the defense here. Can't really blame Axon facing backwards. Only had one side in net to face. The opposite man there, I believe it was Nozak, should have really realistically found that that shot was going to be on the opposite corner too. Hard to get to it, but it had to at least jump for it. Other than that, give him the kick off. Just playing detriment in this, surely.
Ooh. Whoa, what? Oh my god, what a shot. Well, what a clear, mostly actually. Nozai punishing the overcommitment more than anything else from Moose Mat Q, the last player back. Not expected that to be so close to the net, it seems. 1-1 back on the board, and the Milkmen not regaining control, but certainly contesting for it. Look at Oryx with the control of his own right. Backboard plays. Noah's just going to barely get the touch in. But the follow-ups from Nozai almost found his way in with his own right. Oryx, however, continuing to press the issue. Orange side of the court, just not allowing Milkmen, oh sorry, not allowing Moose Mat Q, I should say, any real opportunity to break out of their own half. They're going to keep them as pressured as they possibly can here, Danny.
We're trying to, and it would be nicely well received if they can do it. And that touch went off too well. Again here, Milkmen, they're playing well. You're talking about that star type attitude. Yes, they bounced back. Game 3 here, bit of a stalemate too. What would be nice here if they can just control the game here. They're just flinging themselves across to the field, and Noah, that's a free shot at least dealt with into the corner.
And puts it back into the midfield. Good challenge again. We'll put it over to the center line. Nozai will take it against Xeon. Bounce out again. Going to leave it for Oryx, but it's challenged by the Moose Mat side. Oryx now against Boys School Q. Backboard into the next man, and Noah challenged again by Nozai and moved in against Oryx next. Bounce out from Magu, and Noah looking for his way in. Instead it's Xeon. Nozai returning all the same. Boys School Q will take this one high of the ceiling. Oryx back in towards Nozai's position, but Boys School Q will challenge again in the midfield alongside Noah pressing forward. 25 points to boot, trying to get to the backboard, but again the defensive is held so well for the Milkmen. Good shot in off the crossbar, no follow-up from anybody. Noah and Magu caught in rotation and in the midfield. Plays out to the box one more time, but no more support from Boys School, who's also gone back for more boost. So the coordination and communication from Moose Mat might be something to work on here, I think, Danny.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And the problem there as well with Boys School Q, the moment he went back, yes, there's a bit of concern there. Could have had a free shot, bang it up too. Need to control it, hold it, let his two teammates drop back too. There is time for risk and reward. Sometimes you have to conserve what you're actually going for. But, well, not man. They have a chance to build something here, and again, throwing the ball straight down to it. I would like to see them hold on to the ball with 5-10 seconds more than they normally have been. But at least this next 30 seconds should be interesting enough, but more likely OT.
40 seconds left. Nozai challenges. Magu misses. Noah tries to tee it off again. They've overcommitted to this one. The demo in on Xeon will buy a bit of breathing room, but they need to find a clear down here. Boys School takes it in. Nozai challenges. Good setup again from Boys School. Needs to follow up against Oryx, but won't go so far as to do so. Noah also on the right-hand side. Oryx will challenge and pump him out of the way. The corner is where this ball will get played. Magu back in, over to the orange side. Nozai will challenge for ball control, beat him. Now looking to beat Noah all the same, but they have one final attacking chance here for the Milkmen side. Xeon again high. Pushed out the backboard into the corner. Now Noah's going to try and drag it as far as he can, but not a lot of boost to do so. Oryx instead setting up towards Xeon. He goes up prematurely, and the ball hits the floor for overtime in Game 3.
Well, so far battling between possession and sort of this mad max type cell is firing the ball quite around. Sneak in, calm it down, realise your opportunity. Milkman not able to dictate from the kickoff though. That's when their main arsenal of their weapons so far to Magoo. Oh, what are you thinking? Just firing it straight down. Lost possession. It's almost feel like a broken record at this point.
Something's going to have to change. Going to pick up that needle move on to the next song. Potentially, in the case of the Moose Mac Q side, a very confident sort of game one, I want to say, with the exception of that first, minute and a half or so. Boys School Q and Noah trying to run back around towards the midfield area. Follow up from Boys School is going to get denied. Noah teases one off again off the backboard. Noizo's got to be ready for this, but a double commit throws that ball's position off entirely. Moose Mac Q now going to have to rotate back to defensive. Nozai will get the 100 boost, so Moose Mac can't really respond to it. Boys School Q goes into that corner. Nozai will contest it. Xeon going up alongside Oryx. Another double commit on the defensive, but it does follow suit out to the clear. Dunk down coming in from Magu, though. No one from the Milkmen was ready for that one. Finally, something going the way of the blue side.
That was about time. That was a beautiful shot straight down on target. Noah, give credit to him. He pressurized it, forced the keeper out too. But just moments before that, Jay, where Boys School Q threw the ball just into the out randomly at all. You talked about comms in game 2 being the issue. They have to use it a bit more. Not one stage did they do that. You can still see they're just relying on hit ball, see ball type attitude. That has to change too as well.
A 2-1 game. A 2-1 series right now for the boys in blue. Milkmen might have a couple of troubles left in them, obviously, to go for a mini reverse sweep. It's match point, obviously, for their opponents. What might end up being an opening match loss for them if they're not careful. But they have contested very hardly here, Danny. I mean, you know, at this point, this one could go either way. And a very impressive little showing again, considering the caliber of the players that we've seen competing in that team. Moose Mac Q, favourites, and on match point 2-1 up in the series, going for 3-1. See if Oryx and Co can try and change that as we go to the blue half to kick things off. Oryx will take that to the box once again. No, with a big miss, a chance available, but Magu there to cover him off and get that to the corner. A couple of unnecessary risks, I think, here, Danny. I'm not 100% confident and comfortable with the way that these guys are playing at the moment.
Oh, you're uncomfortable. I'm just losing my head, just pulling every bit of hair out. It's just absolutely shaky. But again, there's moments of brilliance and madness thrown in between it. It's almost like a bad sort of recipe for disaster here. And this sort of build-up once more, both the two teams not even trusting each other what play they want to go for and just trying to make do with what they have.
What a pinch coming through over towards that defensive. Xeon shots taken away by Boys School Q. Magu get beaten out by Nozai, same with Noah. Xeon puts that one back down to the midfield. Nozai backboard, follow-up coming in from Oryx, but Boys School Q wraps around and gets the save in just before it touches the line. Follow-ups from Magu and Noah again will get chased down to the orange corner. Responses need to be found by Milkmen eventually. Ball goes up and over again, should be denied by Xeon. The attacking forces from the Moose Mac squad have fallen to pieces very quickly as soon as they enter those boxes here, Danny. I'm taking a look at this whole thing and thinking to myself, like, you know, whenever they break into that orange half, what do they really have to work with?
That's a very good question. They've just yet to really find that own problem here where, yes, they have the option of playing the ball. You could stack it to the backboard, challenge a bit early too, and maybe just throw testing. There's been absolutely none of that, and you just see these launching ball back and forth between the two, and it's just a bit worrying here for both the two sides. And especially with the favourites here, Moose Mac, they need to pick up these games quite cheaply. Ooh. And that should have been the first chance that gone in too.
Demo in against Xeon here. Magu's going to try and contest. Nozai wrapping back around. We'll take this to the midfield. Oryx and Xeon, good back pass there from Magu again, slipping himself in the line and trying to get some shots in, but they're going for individual shots where I feel like some team plays and passes might find some way back in here. Seeing very few infields, but an overcommitment will finally break the stalemate here for the Moose Mac Q side. Milkmen finally overcommitting a little bit too much, and Magu can punish them for it.
Yeah, gambled far too much, cheated that heavy, trying to play force the issue. They try to get the same 50 that we saw moments ago where Boys School Q and Noah's 1-2-1 again. But one slight redeeming factor here, Jay, is, well, that idea was going to go out the window. They've scored one, they have to play now. At this point here, Milkmen have to throw the kitchen sink to get themselves back into the series.
Well, there's Magu with another goal. 2-0 for the blue side of the court. Things continue to get better for the match point situation. A backboard play. Onyx, not going to happen for one, actually. Boy School Q gets that save in. In the back lines, they will continue to try and find a way back out. They're not boxed into their half this time. However, the same can't be said for the Milkmen side, who have been boxed in every time they found a clear over on the Moose Mat squad. It's Boy School. Puts this over to the corner. Oryx is there to receive a good challenge onto Magu, but Magu wins it out in terms of just getting control away. Nozai beating out two. Nozai off the crossbar, but unable to go further than that. Xeon will continue to press the issue, and Magu will boom it downfield. Nozai is there again on the defensive. What is with this guy? He's been having some very good control plays and pressure plays against his opponents.
Oh, it's just fabulous. It's just the other two teammates are trying to play that supportive role. And when they have the opportunity here, the Moose side, not frankly caring. They're not willing to pressure here, and he has this free opportunity to run rampant here. Oh. Oh, that's cruel. That's unfortunate, Jay, but
that's just not fun at all. Two great shots, one pinging off the post. And time running out for Moose Mat Q, 60 seconds on the clock. And still a 2-goal deficit to come back from here, Danny. They'll try their best. Magu booming this one over to Noah. He's already caught in rotation, so it buys a bit of breathing room, but you see how quickly he recovers it. Big miss in the back line. It's not going to get punished, but it is time wasted on the part of Moose Mat Q.
Played perfectly, and that's a little short pass ideal for Noah. And again, the Milkmen, which is nice to see, they're all three willing to challenge. Again, one has to sit back, have to realize these long distance clears, throw the ball, have some like a lot cherry picker, much more efficient here. As frankly, they're just going to park the bus and they have 21 seconds to redeem their series.
Milkmen not out of this one just yet, but backboard plays to break down the defensive, and as you say, 21 seconds to the clock to try and save themselves at this stage. Kickoff will need to go well, I think. Thought they've got one chance at an attack, and this time they will get a pretty good kickoff at that. They've got to work into some attacking force for it. Xeon against Boy School. And Noah to the sideboard will put it back into his teammate. Magu will pass out towards Noah, who takes control. No boost left for him. Will still go for the zero angle. And it's just saved by Xeon. Just about the skin of their teeth. They're going to keep it up high. Boy School still looking for a flip reset on target. It's blocked off by Oryx here, and Xeon's going to try and keep it alive. He's going to have to find some sort of clear and dribble back out. Magu's going to try and contest it. They're doing everything they can. No, with a dunk down off the backboard. Oryx keeps it alive. Xeon still with a chance. Oh, but he flips at the wrong moment. Oh, that's such a tragedy. It could have been so good for the Milkmen, but in the end, the victory will go the way of their opponents instead.
Well, might go into their favour. Yes, 3-1 expected for Moose Mat Q, but they didn't play convincing. Not one of them I could sit there and say they deserve even man of the match. Nozak, to be fair, outplayed them simply most of the match too as well. So the fact that the Milkman loses this one, they shouldn't be disparaged at all. And you know what, they may have a chance they still grab a top 3 spot. Hopefully we'll see that too later on throughout this tournament.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, obviously posted up by the Milkmen side, though I have to give my my props to them. They did do a pretty good job there, Danny, especially for a team like the Moose Mat side, who I honestly believe that they were going to have this one, wholeheartedly easy. You know, I don't think the team formation has fully bolstered itself though on that squad.
Yeah, I mean, it's simply that roster has seen more swaps and changes to really rename it to the Frankenstein team. And Magu looks out of place, Jay. It does not look right whatsoever. Hopefully, we'll see them again quite literally the next series too. So we'll hopefully see them improve slightly. We can only hope.
Well, as you say, the Moose Mat Q side will be up in action next. They're taking on Blitzent in a short couple of moments' time, so don't go anywhere. Our second match, our Group B match of the day, will happen after the break. Welcome back to Rocket Kingdom. Welcome back to the RKNC Premier Division. We're into our second match of the night between Blitzen and Moose Matt Q from Group B. We obviously just saw Moose Matt Q take a decent series against the Milkmen, but not quite as easy as the 3-1 scoreline would let on here, Danny.
Not at all. I mean, it was a simple, slow start. We talked about them playing somewhat well, bounced back on their feet, and in game 3 and 4 they were most sluggish. They did get the win, they grind it. That's what the good teams are meant to do. But here against Blitzen, I think it's a higher caliber team, Jay. I think it won't be as easy. I think it'll be 3-2. And you know what? I fancy Blitzen to take it as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, considering the team formation in Moose Matt, I'm not 100% certain if they're going to be in the best of positions for this series, to be honest, Danny. We'll have to see whether or not that will end up being the case, I think.
Absolutely. With that said, though, Jay, thankfully all the players have said that Wake Up with Rise and 2 it was a bit unusual here. They're complimenting each other, and more like a bloodbath, to be honest with you. Well,
hold on. We haven't got every player in the lobby, I don't think.
No one decided to leave for a remake without telling us. Sorry, Magoo was AFK even though all of them said that they were ready. How dare they?
Oh dear. Gotta love it. You gotta love it a little bit. Well, that is a bit more time to break it down, to be honest, because you know, obviously one of the Magoo, interestingly enough, was the guy that you highlighted as being the sticking point for that team, for this team last time around, and you said that he was the guy that wasn't fitting in. So tell me a bit more about that. Like, what's the damage?
Well, simply the case is Magoo played in the team Void, played it with Rise, fully enough the opposition, so he'll know his game. But in terms of that Moose Matt Q, Boys Q left Wind and Rain, jumped in with Noah, so they've played each other. They have a bit of experience, about a month, maybe 2, so decent chemistry here. Every time Magoo, however, went in for a play, didn't know what Noah was doing, didn't know what Boy was doing, and simply the case is, it was just overcommits, non-commits, which was a bit unusual for him, or just simply playing the ball to the wrong side of the play where Boy was expecting. We saw how good Noah was, especially with the pass that Boys Q delivered to him, and how well they got at least a few attacking opportunities from it.
Got to give credit to the Milkmen at the very least now. I mean, I think Noselight did a really good job in terms of opening up some opportunities, so can't take it too much away from that one. But the boys over on that team, I have to agree. Like, I think that it wasn't 100% confident from the Moose Matt squad. So they got a little bit to do before they get so far as to take this win confidently, Danny. You're still sticking with the Blitzen guys?
Yes, and simply the case of it. Everybody on this pitch has at least teamed with each other at some point too, so everybody knows each other's game here, Jay, and that's the fabulous bit about this too.
Well, let's see how well that will play into their success here. Game 1 is ready to go, and the teams are hopping into their respective sides. On the blue side, it will be Blitzen. On the orange side, it will be Moose Matt Q. So let's kick things off with game number 1, see if they can rectify some of the mistakes they were making in that first series. Boy School and Noah are on the initial attack here. Magoo also supporting in the midfield. That ball will be set up here for Psycho instead, going for a shot back in. Is that one going to go on? Indeed it is. Boy School not in position to take the save.
Deja vu was in position before we had that server recreation because Magoo wasn't there. Great magician Abracadabra here by Cycle, his former teammate and coach as well when he was on the Shizou roster with Calcify Inferno. Know each other for over 6 months, and the decency of the pop it round here, and thankfully we should have a decent attacking game from both sides.
Distan will try and challenge, deny every opportunity he can. Still played in from Magoo. Rise will rise. Take it away from him. Ball still in that midfield though. It's challenged by the blue side of the core here. All out for Distan, again going to the backball and towards Psycho as well. Rise in position to try and contest it, but it will be Magoo there to counteract it. Distan also in the box here. Rise in position, but it will be taken away by Noah. Played up and over. Distan going to try and receive it, maybe even fake it out off the crossbar. Almost recovered from Rise, but in the end not going to be allowed. Psycho will press the issue, however, and try to see if he can get something going here for the boys in blue.
Boys School Q, decent clear moves in the corner. I talked about that earlier in their first series, where they're not actually defending each other perfectly well. Centre lights ball is going to be the issue. Thankfully, Snow is able to hold it, deal with a bit of pressure, and they can build upon this. And again, Boys School Q pushes forward up. That's the second time we've seen it too. So repetition, unaware what the situation's happening. So comms and everything in play, as you said, Jay, before.
And Maggie challenging. This ball's going to get set up towards that box. Distan taking it over. And Boys School Q moving it back downfield. Rise will contest it. Flip reset out of the way. I'm not going to go for the shot instead. An absolute laser coming in from Noah, but it's going to go bouncing off the backboard rather than go directly in the back of the net. Could have been a great opportunity to score the first one back for the Moose Match side, though. They return to their own half to set up the counter-attack. Distant over to Rise. A lot of breathing when being given to this ball, and Rise with a big miss might now allow Noah a chance to punish. Goes in for that shot, but Psycho's there to demo it out, and you can see how aggressive they're getting on the Moose Match side. A lot of demos coming out. Still passes up from Blitzen. Borgs remains inside this box, but not going so far as the danger box. It's Distant off the ceiling crease. Will try set up Psycho, but no cigar for the shot. The defensive is just keeping it as far away from Blitzen's shots as they possibly can.
What I like to see as well is this sort of mini siege that the Blitzen have got. Just trying to close it down. And unfortunately, the Moose Match side know how well and effective they can do it. Likewise, if they get the opportunity here, but these nice chipping shots will test it, force the boots, waste it. It's just this last man third rotation has to be clean and get this transition back up with a bit of pace too.
Real quick counters coming in. Blitzen laser beaming their way down the other end of the field. Slow, progressive sort of journey for the Moose Match side, but as soon as they get in that blue half, they have the majority of the pressure here. Maga's going to try and use that to his advantage, bumping one defender out of the way. Psycho, however, beats him and Noah, leaving Boys School Q as the only man to come out of the midfield and back into the offensive half. Maggie will tee this one up. Rise looking for his 100 boost and looking for his opportunities now for an aerial dribble, potentially up against Noah. We'll have to 50-50 him, but if Noah touches it to get it out of the way and make sure there will be no flashy shots in from him. Distan, the same can't be said. Rise there to quickly chip it back in, and a great offensive passing play using the backboard as the proxy. It's a 2-0 for Blitzen.
Well, Noah there just sitting, waiting. My issue here with Noah, if you're presuming Distan was coming to shot bottom left, that's where he thought it was. Yes, that's fair enough. Why jump at all? Just forces that there. Horrible recovery. And it gives the free double in the lead here for Blitzen. It's just a simple error falling right through here, but it's just whether can Blitzen hold on to the lead while they're struggling a little bit in defense here. But frankly, in their case, Rise at least dealt with the issue for a few momentary seconds.
60 seconds left. Magoo into the midfield. Rise going to beat out Boys School, try and beat out Noah, and last man standing is Magoo, but it will not happen for him. Blocks off at the very last second. Boys School Q going to try and return, but the rotations are looking so good from Blitzen, disallowing everything for the Moose Match side to strike. Magoo puts it back up high. Noah looking for his redirect chance, but it will be denied all the same. Psycho now with a dribble out, going to look in for the next man, but pushed away by Magoo. Boom back down the field. Distan takes that to the corner. Disallows any opportunity to set up again. Boys School leaves it inside the box. A good shot from Noah is going to go off the crossbar, and everyone committed to that. Rise in a perfect punish position. He can't get a shot in, but he will set up a teammate to do so. In the end, no one swings out and tries to look for the punish opportunity, though. Time has been wasted for Moose Match Q as 10 seconds remain on the clock. Noah will put it back in. Distan's going to go high off the backboard. Magoo's got to take that away, and now Noah's got to get a big back pass, but it's just not on target, and no one is there to follow it up. So it will be an opening game in the series for Blitzen.
Well said. You talked about the 10 wheel scenario. It was absolutely the right play. Don't even worry about trying to score the third goal. Yes, how good that looks on the scoreline in the history books too as well. But Jay, just game management, that's all you have to do. Psycho will know that more than most in this entire lineup here. Taught, teaches, and everybody near enough in the rival series and below. That's how well respected he is in the bubble scene in that regards. It's just a case of can he transpose that, and technically speaking he is retired as well. I don't believe that, Jay. I can see him making a small comeback.
Well, we'll have to see how well that'll go for him later down the road. For now, though, this match certainly has been a big old start for the new kids to the stream, Blitzen. A simple opening game and not allowing Mooseback Q a whole lot of room to breathe here. They had a there's some glitches over on the server, so hopefully we'll be able to wait too long in this one. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to remake the lobby instead, so that's okay. So, a big start again from Blitzen, not allowing a lot of breathing room for Moosemat Q though there, Danny. You know, again, every time they broke into that blue half, they disallowed everything from Moosemat, and you know, they had a couple opportunities, but the defensive was just way too strong for the Moosemat side to really get anything above their opponents.
Yeah, it's just one of those issues that they have to deal with. We talked about in the first series, their defense was weak. They didn't have the right players, they weren't holding the ball, weren't fighting each other. When you have somebody like Psycho who's able to find those balls, take the chances, rises a natural score, he will take those opportunities and take advantage of it. And it just simply was getting outplayed at times here. It's just, how many chances does Moosemat Q really want to have before they have to play the series correctly? It just seems lost without a leader at the moment.
Yeah, I have to agree. They do look a little bit lost. I think, you know, they've got obviously they've got some real good talents on that side, but right now they're just kind of crumbling to pieces every time they you know, every time they see, you know, every time they see some sort of like resistance, essentially, you know.
Yeah, you would imagine, at least with this lineup as well, that you have Noah, it used to be that CRG lineup in case change over to Exilium, didn't of course meet through that lineup there. You have Migu, part of VOD, plenty of their Renegade Cup experience, Boys School Q. I mean, they're all lineups here, but none of them are natural leaders. You would imagine at least one of them would take up that range. You would imagine it would be Boys School Q. This is her current phase or lineup. They haven't seen it, and every time they go for the play, you talked about one of them always running back out of the play. It doesn't seem to be comms being well affected, or at least well used. Well, it cannot be said for Blitz, and they were on point for most of that game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a bit of a pain, I think, more than anything else for the Moosemat Q side to form up against this one. We'll see how well they do. Ready for game 2 to get started. So when these players are ready, we can jump straight in and see whether or not we're ready to go, and see whether or not Distan's game's bugged out still. I think it might have just been... No? Okay, no, he's just getting into the server now. Okay, so we're ready to go. Once again, 1-0 for the Blitzen side, representing those blue colours, and Moosemat Q need to get started in quite the way here over on the orange side. It's Noah to try and receive the kickoff initially. It's Distan there to boom it back over to the orange corner. Big misses coming out from several of the blue side players. This is going to be Magu's chance to strike. No boost backboard playing towards Boys School Q, but way too slow and running out of resources at the very last, like, you know, part of the half. They have a big opening for Blitzen to rotate out and down the defense, and that's exactly what they did.
How much was us or scoreboard glitch really affected this down there, not being warmed up? Oh, this is just pathetic. Come on, Noah. Come on, Boys School Q. What type of defense is this?
I don't think he's happy. It is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, you're talking about whether Distan's skills were affected by that bug, or whether or not his form was affected by that bug, but nope. Easy triple. Made easier by the fact that Noah didn't defend. Returned over to that orange half, as again Blitzen do their best to keep the pressure rolling and keep this as far away from their net as possible. Potentially looking for another goal here. Obviously 4 minutes on the clock, so anything can still happen here, Danny.
I sincerely hope so. Oh, it's just one of those moments here. This is meant to be the top players, top teams in the UK and Ireland scene, and yet they're making basic mistakes. It's just highly questionable. Once more, you have to ask yourself, is they given the full concentration they deserve? It seems not. We talked about that leadership quality. It doesn't seem to be there in Distan. Well, we have that full answer. It wasn't affected at all. It's the opposition that was.
Now off to that corner. Second touch will pinch it back inside the box. This is going to be a chance for Boys School Q to strike, and he almost found the time of day, but in the end, there's too many players inside the box for the Blitzen side, so Distan can return, Rise can follow suit, Psycho will try to look for his way back in, will bounce out lightly. There should be Boy School Q there with the simple, sorry, Magu, excuse me, there with the simple clear away. Rise and Distan, however, still holding the midfield. That ball getting close to the net. Rise will continue to bounce his way out, challenge some of the Moose Mac Q players. Psycho goes up, Rise demos out one. Psycho officially gets a shot on target, saved officially by Boy School Q. Now the pressure really started mounting against Moose Mac Q. I saw a little bit of this in the last series, but not quite to the extent that they're trying to ramp it up here on Blitzen.
No. You can analyze as much between the first game on stream into the second one. I was worried about the offensive sort of capability that Rise could offer in the time Blitzen have. But again, this should not be the type of scenario of the series I was expecting. It should be a little bit more tighter, should be more closer. And the fact that Moose Mac Q aren't really challenged in the way they should be is just detrimental at times here. And with Psycho, this is a free shot. He should have been doing much better. Rise chipping it up. Both of the two teams not taking the time to sort of calm the game down. And that's a bit of experience finally by Psycho. Gives his life for it though.
Oh, Noah dribbling it past one, challenged by the second. Magu going to look for his redirect. That's on target, and Boy School Q will finish it off. A beautiful bumping play to set up the pressure, and in the end, just ball control central from Magu and Noah. And again, Boy School Q with that finishing touch. 1-1 back on the board.
Well, a bit of redemption from that earlier goal in this game, but Psycho a little bit too slow to respond as well. Knew the danger, knew what Boyd's capable of. He was his coach at one point. The fact that the kickoff's gone so heavily against him as well, against Moose Mac Q. You can almost sense another mini siege happening, but let's see if they can actually finally break away for it and hold it and have a bit of offense themselves this day.
3 players, back passes and everything, looking for a shot. In the end, Magu will find one. Blitzen caught stalling in their own net. You can see the passiveness from Psycho and Rise here, not sure where to go. And in the end, one position just not covered off there on the right-hand side of that net. So Moose Mac Q again regaining control of the lead after a bit of an awkward start against Blitzen so far. Psycho, Rise going to try and turn it around with his kickoff. Rise in with a ceiling shot flip, reset to the backboard. In comes Distan, puts it over the last defender, bouncing it just feet in front of Magu. And it's 2-2 on the board for Blitzen.
It's not even a difficult ball, that. You have somebody behind you, which was Noah, calm it out, challenge the ball, and the fact that he's hit the ground so slowly with it, just chips it, pops it, whatever way you want to describe it, ties it up to that original play that Rise had. Oh, there is just moments of questionability coming through both these two teams' decision-making at this current juncture.
Distan beating 2 defenders caught out here, trying to pass in towards Rise. Noah is able to cut it off this time, but you can see the pacing and pressure ramping up from Blitzen, trying their best to try and get something else on the board against their opponents and take the lead before the overtime strike. Boy School Q with a challenge out from that corner. Distan misses, as does Psycho, and 2 big whiffs from the big defensive of Blitzen will leave Moose Mac Q in the lead.
Bye-bye. Farewell. Just go. Don't want to entertain you anymore. This game is done, dusted. If there's another go here, Jay, I would be considerably worried about how bad the defense is for the 6th goal in this game too.
You're not happy. I can tell. That could be something to be happy about, though. A beautiful shot again from Psycho, taken away by 2 defenders, pinching out the defensive. Off the crossbar is where it bounced, but no recovery shots, and now they try and recover with pressure alone. Magu and Co turning it up. Rise will put it inside the box. And Boys School leaving it Psycho over to Rise. Beautiful shooting off the post. Oh no! It was beautiful, but it was inaccurate as anything. And the final 10-second countdown out of final 5 seconds will see them scrambling to get a last-second goal. Distan in towards Psycho, pushed out by Boy School Q. It will bounce off the floor crease, but no one can get to it in time. Moose Mac Q, a little bit of luck getting them through those last few seconds, but in the end, it's 1-1 on the series board with 3-2 to their favor in Game 2.
I honestly do not know what to make of this game, Jay. It's just... It was horrendous. There was no redeeming qualities at all. There was defense mistakes left, right, and center. There was a couple of decent passes where goal-scoring opportunities that both teams could at least hang their hats on. But other than that, I don't even know how Moose McHugh got away with that. They should have been 2-0 down. Oh, disappointed.
You are very disappointed, I think. To be honest, that's kind of been your mood for the entire night here, Danny, let's be real.
Jay, I'm not saying, but me, you, and Tractor could form a better team at the moment.
No, you couldn't. No, you absolutely couldn't here, Danny.
With me behind you, as obviously the world's most renowned best player who decided to take early retirement, I could teach you how to do it perfectly well, Jay.
That's brilliant. Oh dear. Sorry, Danny. I've got a bit of a bug on my game at the moment. You might have to do a little bit of commentary for me.
Well, it's not a problem in between that small departure from yourself. So was the defense from Boys School Q, Noah and Magoo. Let this stand with a free shot on target. Just questionable throughout that. 6 seconds already gone and Rise just unfortunately plant themselves across to the field, and with that, Sego. Another free shot there with Boys School Q trying to bring and chisel that one across. Backboard, at least a stack option there with Distan feigning that bit of defence, so we're not even getting the second touch making that one. They're almost skimpy, scantless too, as Sego just given 3 possession of the ball. Another backward touch, right aside the jump for a Hail Mary, unnecessarily so, and Distan trying to bring that across pitch too. Distan, one more little play. Boys School Q tries to drop that one back again into middle with Sego. Find that one back again to another teammate would be ideal with Magoo. Not able to do it. Rise, free shot, bang, 2-0, and suddenly Moose McHugh not able to do anything about it either. Again, not a surprise the way I was responding earlier to it as well. With that all said and done, just seems to be the case, and when that is the case, Jay just feigning his, of course, fate in a moment. So is Moose McHugh. They have yet to find themselves with Rise off another backward clear, not quite fully, nor skipped down to the field by the main man himself, Boys School Q, and Noah not able to do much. It's just once more Magoo finding another side of the wall, glancing shot. It's going nowhere, and Distan playing another ball, beautifully taken out too. Best played so far of the series. Yet it's just not quite working around. With that, the series just going the way, teetering around. That, just expecting another quick little chisel of a shot with Distan across, takes his line out and round. Boys School Q, free shot, and that's just another sweet little touch. Going right through to that. We should have Jay returning quite shortly here. Oh, it's one of those days where technical difficulties first, the cancellation of Worlds, and now Sego.
Wow,
stall into the middle.
Let's be real here. I'm back though, it's fine. It's all good. Here we go. So, 2-1 on the board for Blitzen. Nice start so far, as you mentioned. But Moose McHugh currently have their pressure to contest with. Once again, inside the box. Bunk down opportunity will be taken out by Noah and Co. Puts this down to the side, but we'll put it back to the midfield for the moment here. Psycho will try and control, but at the moment, things are still looking pretty confident.
Well, Jay, I think your Sinclair might be having another issue with Rise.
Yeah, it's been on the blink for the last week or so. Rise is not on the blink though, he's on the ball and getting a 3-1 on the board.
Yeah. Well, Boys School Q also just died in the middle of the pits too. 3-1 is just an absolute manslaughter at this current juncture with 2 minutes with that. Oh, it's just a series riddled with a few moments, but Sego drops down. Noah is skirting around the side of the field, back into it. Middle pass would be ideal. Search and rescue here. Unfortunately, haven't found anybody so far. The distance back over to the wall. Seiko just forcing that one. Beats Boys School Q, and the old master has taught the apprentice, and he has no problem. Boys School Q, well, learn to respect the elders. You deserve to get beaten like that.
That was awesome. That was absolutely awesome there. The bump in as well to stop the last defender, Danny. Is my mic still robot-y, by the way?
No, you have returned on like the defense for Boys School Q's team.
So 2 things. I hate Rocket League bugs and I hate broken sound cards. So there you go. Those are 2 very clear things that you should fix every time you come to try and do this job. 4-1 on the board. Blitzen doing a great job of their own right at the moment. They're having a fantastic time. An overcommitment from Moose Mac Q. Cycle was able to get more power behind that ball. I could have seen a great opportunity there for them. That's still a boomer coming in from the midfield. Now will be there to defend it. Cycle with that demo. Now again following suit. Distan can take this one back over to the midfield. Boys School Q will go. Rise coming in with 40 points, a boost to his name. Big fakes, big demos coming in from Boys School Q though, as he denies it here. 60 seconds on the clock, and even without that goal, Blitzen are still looking the favourites to win this game 3, with Rise dribbling up. Boys School Q there to deny Distan, flicking it back inside the box and continuing to push it out from that corner. Noah also contesting that ball, goes up and over, but just time stalling at this stage. There's no way that Moose Mac Q can get back into the blue half and counter-attack the 3 goals in a row.
Trying to find at least one way, and that pass by Boys School Q off the corner was at least commendable. Magoo's touch, not so much, and Noah, it really is hit hope and a bit of praying in between 2, and this is just... Remember you asked me about that Magoo, no trust either with the team. Well, there's a perfect example of it once more. It was on a postcard that time, with that clock ticking on down, 10 seconds down. Well, I said Moose Mac Q was lucky to get 1 game in the series. I'll stand by that too again.
Rise to Distan. Oh, Distan actually fakes it out, so that way the ball goes and hits the floor. So 4-1 on the board for game 3 and a 2-1 series at this stage. Looking very, very clean from Blitzen in that one here. Wasn't quite as confident in the first couple of games, but that one was certainly impressive. If they keep that up going into game 4, I see no reason why Moose Mac Q should lose to the Blitzen side here.
Shouldn't lose it. Not one stage here Blitzen should be worried. I mean, what is Moose Mac Q going to do that's so threatening? Whiff the ball some more? Come on, Jay. What is left in this series that they can do? They haven't shown any form of leadership, haven't shown any form of attacking prowess, and their form of defense just seem to be whiff until they make it. Just in a very grumpy mood with them at the moment. I expected
in a
better
very grumpy mood. You've been in a very grumpy mood all day, but to be fair, I can see why you would think you would think that way, because to be honest, when you take a look at the talents on paper, I would have expected a little bit better from these guys, some better results. Just goes to show that talent and individual skill is not everything for a team like this. But one more game for Magoo, Boys School Q and Noah to recover the situation in their hands. They need to find 2 in a row to beat out Blitzen and deny them a 3-1. Ball in, chance down for Distan, and the defensive troubles one more time. Blitzer 1-0 on the board.
It's the same mistake again. What do they need to do to learn from it? It's the same mistake that Magoo made. Noah's behind. It's just the only difference is somebody else and Distan hits the ground once more. It's just a repetitive sake now. It's just, again, Boys School Q, Magoo and Noah just need to waken up and remake.
Oh
They don't deserve it.
That should have been a goal easy. Now I know how you feel, Danny. Now I know how you feel. And Rise will try do one better. Boys School Q will find a clear downfield and distant. Be able to save it and keep it away. Ball up from Noah. Finally a dunk, but Psycho actually comes up with a good save this time. You can feel the frustration and the anger brimming from the playstyle of the Moose Mac Q side. They've had enough. They're doing their best to get some pressure going, but none of it's converting into a goal here. Out from this corner is where they're playing from. Psycho will leave that ball out to no man's land. Magu will be able to get there first, and Rise will challenge him for the other side corner control, trying to beat out Noah for the midfield. They return to that orange half, going to look for a goal out here. Pinched out by Boys School, with Psycho still on the setup.
It's that aggressive play style. Yes, it would work if they were able to shoot on target. They haven't been able to do that. They haven't passed to each other, which is a necessary offense. And Ride with an orgasmic experience that just sends the opposition to another planet now.
He used his flip early and still faked out two of the defenders with a pinch and a beautiful shot from the floor. Rise. Gonna rise to the occasion apparently. 2-0 now, distance demoed. He's still gonna try and punish this. But Noah there with a demo, and Psycho will get it out to the corner just to keep the pressure going for them. 2-0 on the board for Blitz. Moose Matt stunned into submission, and Distant continuing to challenge. They're giving them all the room to breathe here. They're allowing them so much control and so much aggression down here in the orange half. And Psycho will go for a shot. Distant will follow up. It will be blocked off by the two defenders here. But either way, this is just not looking good for Moose Matt.
Hasn't looked good since game 2. They've been generous enough to at least get one game in here. So Psycho out dribbling. Where's the challenge? Where's somebody at least taking Psycho out? Never mind the ball at that case here. They're running rampant down to it. You talk about submission. They're waving white flags and they're running all over them.
Oh. Distant almost took an absolute stellar one. Psycho will still put a stellar one in. A slow ball, but now everybody has a goal from Blitzen here. 3-0. Nothing for Moose Matt Q. Meanwhile, I have to say this series and this game is now efficiently crumbling apart.
I say it's over. I'm calling it there.
I wouldn't blame you. I absolutely would not blame you at this stage here, Danny. Magu going for a shot to try and recover things. Distant there with a save. Rise and over inside that box. Distant will take it out from the corner, try and put it back on. Boys School Q will clear it. Magu there to receive off the backboard, looking for a second touch. It won't be allowed. Noah. So the other side corner. Distant will challenge against his teammate. Demos in from Rise. And yeah, just slow pace. I think even Moose Matt have given up on this game at the moment here.
Well, I would be worried in the sense of what their series is going to be like next week when they have 3 games to play. It's not a case of it was lethargic or they've been playing all night long and they had Brittles game 5 and OTs lasting 5 minutes apiece. This is just sloppiness. It's not coming in prepared. It's just rolling over and not even willing to put a bit of effort in. This is just disgraceful.
It's not the performance I expected from this squad. 3-0 from Blitzen. Looking like their 3-1 scoreline coming into effect in about 60 seconds at time. Only 1 minute on the clock for Moose Matt to recover these goals. Just barely holding a defensive, now they're getting missed touches in here. I think this one is over now, Danny. Psycho defends against the blue net. Distant will take it off to the sideboard and try follow suit in the midfield. And Magu will boom this one high. Rise is there for the defense all the same. So it's another day in the office, it seems, for Blitzen. The time ticking away. Noah will try look for a bump in. Distance not going to let that happen. Everything they're trying here from Moose Matt is just being thrown against the wall and not sticking.
It's not sticking. To be fair, if I was Blitzen here, I'd just be scoring a couple of own goals at this point, Jay, just to rub the salt in the wound.
Well, they're not quite that cocky, I don't think, here, Danny. 13 seconds left.
I'll teach them.
Apparently you will. It won't surprise me that you would here, but that's a lesson for another day. For now, the lesson is do not mess with blitzing. 3-0 in game 4, 3-1 in this series, and as the series went on, things just got better and better for the boys in the blue side of the court.
Well, went well, and frankly, the way that Magoo and Boys School Q left as quickly as they did, they must have been afraid of the tyrant that was coming in their DMs shortly too, because let's just get on with the next series. Let's look forward.
Yeah, I think we might have to do so at this point. Exilium are up next on stream. They're going to be taking on the Rain Men in our second Group B match of the night, so don't go anywhere. Rocket Kingdom and the Rocket Kingdom National Championship will continue after the break. Welcome back to Rocket Kingdom TV and welcome back to the RKNC where we're into our third series of the night. We're taking a look at Rainmen versus Exilium. I'm the Eternal J. I'm joined by Danny Boy. And you've not been very impressed tonight, have you, mate?
No, I'm not. I've been disappointed, annoyed, and my DMs are lit with maybe a few players is asking what I have said about their performance, and I've given them the straight, honest truth, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
You are straight savage. Let's see whether or not these next two squads will end up being ashamed of themselves. We've got Exilium in the orange half of the field and Rainmen over on the blue. Quite a lot of notable names in this one. So let's see how well they'll hold their own. Again, I just don't even know how to respond to that, to be honest. Let's just leave it at that. First 20 seconds sees pressure from Exilium. Is turned off and over to the sideboard. Clean will try to take control, and it's King JS with a good challenge on Labyrinth, and Crisis will try to challenge on towards Clean, try and beat out Gooch. Not going to happen. The save is in. The shots are still good, and Exilium have a majority of the pressure.
Well, pressure for the time being, but the transition straight back into an Exilium should have this series quite comfortably. They should win it maybe 3-1 on paper, but the Rainmen have been outplaying their opposition when they have the chances. They have, of course, the rival player in the sub in the form of Gooch. He's played decently well, Jay, for his time here, and well, we'll hope to see maybe you pull a few tricks out that the opposition haven't seen yet.
Only a minute into this game, and so far it has been pressure control and no goals coming in from Exilium. Saying that in King JS, they with a good shot, clean, able to defend it. So all in all, it's roughly the same, but not quite as 100% as they want it to be. Clean up and over to the box. King JS will put that one out. Crisis putting it over to the sideboard, and Cynical will boom it up to a long line, with King JS. Bounce out from the corner. Follow-up's going to get missed out by Crisis, and Gooch will now follow suit. Bounce out again towards the corner, but not going to get set up for a third man shot. So again, it's Rainman taking control and trying to turn back over to the orange half, but the pressure has not really worked out all that well for them so far.
No, but to be fair, Exilium's attack and press has been questionable as well. But I'm actually glad to see that Crisis is the one trying to lead defense when he's been in the defense. Throughout the few weeks of placement, he has been shocking, diabolical, to be truthfully honest. So we'll hopefully see an improvement through him in the actual Premiership itself.
Well, from this corner, Crisis bounces. King JS puts it up and over, and Crisis will wrap back around, leave it over for Cynical. Big challenge there from Labyrinth. King JS over to the side. Gooch will take control. Crisis will get off the backboard here, and again, they're trying to get the pressure going here. Ooh, beautiful tee off there from King JS. Follow up from Cynical will get blocked off by all three players here, but King JS and Crisis swinging in to continue the ball's path, but the blocks have been good from the Rainmen. Exilium now with the midfield control, but denied by Clean for the moment. Cynical getting it up and over as Labyrinth takes it to the corner. Clean will also continue to challenge, but that's a big mistake, and Cynical can punish there for the Exilium side. First on the orange side board. Took them 3 minutes to get there, but they've kicked things off
Decently, an impressive shot from where the angle was. Gooch not going to save it. And you know what, it kicks things off, and finally 2 minutes left. We'll finally see what the Rainmen are capable of. We've seen a couple of turnaround schemes from them so far, and Crisis off his own backward stacks, but this should be a quick counter, and it's very lethargic here by Labyrinth itself.
Clean with a dunk down, eventually gets one back for the Rainmen. A minute and 45 on the clock, and they're going to equalize against Exilium just as quickly here, so not too long of a lead coming in for the orange side court. The Rainmen have done their best to hold their own. I don't want to count it down to luck per se, but it definitely felt like it was more of a failing from the Exilium part of things. Gooch will try and disprove that, however, as he gets it into the orange half for the kickoff. A good tee in by Clean, follow up from Labyrinth, and well, definitely a couple of mistakes coming in from Exilium. It's costed them big time now.
A couple? How about every mistake humanly possible in that play? A whiff, no one committing, hitting the goalpost. What were they trying to achieve, Jay?
Do you know what? It's been so long since I've casted with you, Danny. I've forgotten how savage you can really be.
I haven't even started.
That's my concern, right? The Rainmen currently in control and continuing to pressure inside this orange half. The early part of the game was definitely Exilium's pressure advantage. Now is the complete opposite. As Rainmen will get returned to their own half, though. Backboard plays, and Cynical can strike down. A beautiful pass up from the likes of Crisis. And it is Cynical there to dunk it down for 2-2.
Actually a decent play, which Exilium can actually be proud of. Sets, as we said, to the backboard defense, backflips. Yes, that's a mistake there. The second one shouldn't cleave such a sloppy one, but presumed the challenge was going to come in 60 seconds. And you know what, for the Rainmen who had that sort of early advantage from the mistake, well, debt's repaid. Let's see if they can bounce back from it.
Crisis up and over. Gooch there to challenge inside the corner. Sideboard out. Cynical will contest. Gooch will take it up. Crisis again over to Cynical. We'll move it back over to that corner. Clean's going to pick up the 100 boost. Leave it to Gooch, however, to take the majority of the control. King JS actually outfakes two of them. Gooch trying to get back into position, and Crisis will get a 50-50 in. That will push the ball out of their complete control, but Gooch able to recover alongside Labyrinth, setting up Clean towards open space. KingJS will try to take it away, but Clean still finds his shot. Crisis there for the save out, but now to follow suit. Be a bit difficult with Gooch's pinches, and KingJS will put it back into the hands of Gooch, so we can send it off to Clean. Very good stuff coming in from that blue side coordination. Backboard plays. KingJS will have to take that away because they're being pressured heavily, and they're about to lose the last second. Goal off the crossbar! And Clean just swings it to push it in the back of the net. 3-2, 3 seconds left for Rainmen to take the opening game.
I'm so glad this game isn't who makes the least defense wins. Because Exilium would be losing this series outright by this point here. What was Crisis presuming at that moment in time? Yes, you can have a pre-jump, but that is just wasteful of a defensive situation that he has all full control of. And Clean gets a full advantage here with just a dink of a ball straight across here. That should have been an OT. We've been robbed of that, Jay.
Absolutely, we have. But in fairness, it was a good, crossbar pinch coming in from Clean. So give credit. Two goals for him scored in. You don't want to give credit at all, no.
No, I like the 1-0 games. I like it when the defense is on point. You're not going to get the credit with a cheap shot that shouldn't have went in. Teams should know that about me in the bubble level. You're not going to get respect from me if it's a cheap goal. You have to play perfect. You have to step up the game. Yes, the rival series is going, but this is not meant to be the team where you're meant to slouch. This is where you step it up. The Premier Division, there's a land on the stake as well. Why are you playing that badly?
Going to try and fix the issues there on the Exilium side. They did have a lead for the majority of that game. Let's see if they can try and change the tune and have the majority, have the lead for the whole game instead. Well, very last second. Cynical over against Labyrinth. Good shots coming in from him and Gooch will try and control it inside that box. Sets it up for a third man to commit in the end. No one comes forward before the clear comes out. And KingJS registering a shot. Clean there to try and recover, and Labyrinth will tee it off against one. Crisis will come out with a quick challenge and gets demoed out in the end. Gooch there for the defensive. KingJS still sets it up for Cynical. He tries to bounce it back inside the danger box, but can't go so much further than the outer box. Labyrinth, quick flip, good shot on target, but KingJS out there on rotation with a save. Gooch to the backboard. Clean also pushed out of the way. Crisis and King have control from that corner bounce again into the center line. Cynical will tee this one up, but unable to follow suit with an overall shot from anyone on the part of Exilium.
Decent here by Rayman. They got that pressure built it up for Exilium to have two defensive errors once more after it. That's near enough a free pressure point here in Crisis. Pushed too far up. Should be able to recover and recycle. This is on point. Again off the post, and this. Oh, Jay, take it away.
I love how Cynical was always lurking, looking for an opportunity here. That ball hitting off the post instead of going in the back like they expected it to from the Rainman side. Yes, it was a bit awkward from the two players that set up the shot, but Cynical hunting for his opportunities. I guess you could, would you call that cherry picker? I don't know if you would, but first on the ball for Exilium either way here. Gooch up, we're alongside Labyrinth, trying to return back for the Rainman side, but it's quickly being returned by Exilium, who have the majority of pressure once again.
Well, I would call it more pencil pushing. Just sitting there around, just trying to poke it in. That's just not really impressive, but it looks good to get the goal nonetheless.
Exilium being pressured a little bit here, not so much as to be in any particular danger or get too worried about the Rainmen. Ball goes up, Gooch with a bit of a miss, and that one goes off to the side, pushed away by Labyrinth. Gooch and Clean continuing to press the issue, and Gooch will challenge. Cynical gets a shot. KingJS bouncing out from the corner, again going to leave it for Crisis to come forward, but Gooch can push that back out to the orange half. So simple stuff again from the Rainmen there on the defensive. Couple of demos coming out back and forth between both sides. That last one against KingJS might open up the backline a little bit, but again, it's Cynical there to be the clutch playmaker. KingJS with a great 50-50 against Labyrinth as well. The laser shots coming in from Exilium are something to be a bit worried about if you're the Rainmen.
Worried, yes, but when you have Gooch at the back line able to just hold the defense line, people not realise how good he is as a player to see him as a content creator. Well, there is a difference between him and Jesse. One of them can actually play.
I can't believe that's the comparison point you made.
I'll be intrigued to see which one Reddit thinks out.
2 minutes to go, and this ball's up over in the Exilium half once again. Crisis with a boomer back down to the blue half of the field, and Cynical will try to follow suit over inside the corner. It's clean, but pushes it back over at the midfield. King JS against Gooch as well, challenging. Sideboard bounce, trying to get a secondary opportunity against Cynical. 100 boost not available for any of the orange players there. Clean will get a shot in, but again, it's Crisis there to hold the defense. And although Raymond had a couple of decent shots so far, they've just been contested so well by the orange defensive. Couple of missed touches here from players, but Labyrinth recovers back in the center line, and King JS has got to take that away from their control, because this is a very dangerous position to be at. Fortunately though, Exilium's defensive so far today in this game has been stellar.
Have to give credit to it when it is on display. Like that. At least it gives a bit of pressure here for Exilium. Keeps the ball up. But again, a bit of an issue here by Raymond. At least facing the wrong way. Always driving backwards. That's going to be a bit questionable. It's not going to go all the way in.
Ooh. I mean, credit to Labyrinth. He's always consistently known where he needs to place himself to be in saving positions. So even though it looks like overcommitment, they're actually not. And Crisis will commit alongside King JS to go for a good shot. It's clean, however, to defend against it. Almost looking like it was a nice goal right there. Crisis beating, Gooch coming up, second touch, good pinch away from two, but a double commit might leave the backline a bit open. No one can punish for it though, so Crisis is allowed his aerial dribble up against Labyrinth, still has his flip, but in the end goes back to the backboard, looking to bump one player out of the way. Cynical puts it close to the net, but Gooch is there for the save. From the corner, back to the midfield, Labyrinth going to follow suit to the backboard, leaving it for Clean to strike out. Very light touch into Gooch's position, and it almost throws Cynical off, but almost is not enough. 5 seconds left, Labyrinth looking for a quick a sideboard shot, I should say. Gooch gets over to Clean, trying to recover. He puts it to the floor, and Rainmen will throw a game back to the Exilium side.
I think actually we may have a series on our hands, yeah. Impressed by at least Exilium. They had offense, they had a defense. Don't give moments of question. Raymond leaving one wide open shot, as you said. Labyrinth able to get in those positions, able to deal with it at times, but effectively we are now in that sort of age we don't know where the series is actually going to go either.
Yeah, good game from Exilium and a good game from Rainmen. Admittedly though, Exilium were making a lot of mistakes. Let's see whether or not those can be rectified. Let's see whether or not these teams can come out on top of their respective game threes, as it's 1-1 on the board. This one will be for match point, not for the match itself, but still important regardless for both sides here. Only 15 seconds of scene. A lot of pressure coming in from the Rainmen squad. A good couple of shots from Clean and Labyrinth in particular, lurking inside that corner. Crisis will try and return alongside Cynical here to receive it. It gets off that sideboard. I'm going to leave it for King JS instead. There's going up on the ceiling, looking to try pass back down. He actually goes for a solo play inside the back line. Not quite from Cynical this time. It was a close affair though. Wouldn't have surprised me if he got it in the end. The early minute of this game though, no goals will be scored by the Rainmen or Exilium. Good shot in from Clean again, trying his best to recover the situation, and considering he had no momentum behind his car, it's a very high, fast-paced shot coming through from him. Labyrinth also passed out the dribble play, but unable to stabilize himself from an actual dribble or shot into the goal.
So far, Exilium, as you said, front foot, been on the attack, and could have easily had maybe a goal too. But again, you have to trust your teammates. If you're up for the play, you have to presume to have it unless they're called up specifically. That's the only worry I have with Exilium. On the opposite hand, however, Rainmen, they're just in the wrong position really to deal with any of these attacks. Just last moment, play it quickly into the corner, hope somebody's able to cover, and thankfully in their case, Gooch is mostly there to slow down the gameplay when necessary.
Rainmen looking a bit panicky though here, a triple commit on that last attacking defense. Exilium Might find a couple opportunities to exploit them here as time goes on, especially if they can push them back into a corner. Labyrinth teases one up off the backboard. King JS just takes it to the side, barely against Clean. Gooch comes up with a shot, and it's Crisis here to defend against it. Gets it underneath Labyrinth, gets it above Clean. Oh my goodness! That is a crisis for the Rainmen backline as he goes ham against 2.
No words for that. Just well done.
I love how beautiful that shot was. Do you know what you can do is that? Just well done. Yeah, golf clap. Golf clap.
It's well done. Do it again and I'll be impressed.
You're a hard man to please, Danny, I swear. You really are. Oh. Exilium, regardless of how impressed you are, will be 1-0 up on the board here. As Crisis presses forward here to the backboard. Gooch will take it away, and King JS again passing down to the box. Cynical wraps around in towards King JS. That's a nice open net he can shoot for. Nice and easy. 2-0 at the halftime marker. Exilium looking good now on offense.
Oh, there's no doubt about that too. Decent, well worked. Nothing really to sit there and whoop and cheer about. That's what you put the R's in. You break down the opposition. Easy goals, as you say. Rainmen, on the other hand, has forgotten how to defend, which is going to be the real worry, and apparently match point looming above their heads. Going to have to really shape up here unless they're trying to maybe salvage this particular game with a 2-goal deficit.
King JS up, no one in the net. This is perfect for Cynical, and now mistakes coming in from Rainmen. We talked a little bit about Exilium making mistakes in that first game, but now the 3-0 with that last goal especially being a big mistake from that backline here.
Yeah, it's just a mistake again. It's just one of those situations you have to deal with, have to cover. Give credit, Gooch was close to it, and is there a forfeit?
Might have to be at this point.
Yeah.
At least for this game here. Rainmen have been able to turn the situation around before, so you know, maybe game 3 just not their game. Maybe game 4 will be their way back in. But again, very similar stuff to that last series where, you know, one team sort of held a decent challenge in the first couple of games, then the other managed to run away with it in a 3-1 fashion. This might be Exilium's 3-1 right here to kick things off in the season. Labyrinth pushes this over to the box, but it should be denied by the quick defensive. He's got control actually out from the orange side. Good flick ups. Oh, it's off the crossbar and the post. When you're making mistakes like that and mistakes like that as well. Danny, you were right.
Oh! Welcome to the Premiership, Jay. Welcome to the Premiership. You do something well, you look so good. If it's not perfect, you get scored on. I don't care where it's on the pitch. If it's not perfect, it goes against you. 5-0. Come on, Raymond, step it up at game 4.
Oh no, another one! Crisis!
It's raining goals. Hallelujah.
It's raining goals. Appropriate for the Rainmen who are being rained upon. This is over. This is all sorts of over, I feel like. This ball goes into the orange box. Gooch. Oh, at least tries for something here. Clean's not ready to receive, and now Crisis and King JS get on the offensive, but unable to go for a goal here. It's just Cynical dribbling up against Gooch. Good challenge against him, but Clean is ready to finally get something on the board. But I feel like that might have been a meme setup here, Danny.
I sincerely hope so. Oh, 62 seconds. It's enough time to sit yourself, get a kettle and have a cup of tea ready for game 4. Obliteration. If Exilium's able to keep it up, Jay, that's how well and quick they have been oiled in it. It's crisis. Okay. I wouldn't expect it.
Wait, you would or you wouldn't expect it?
Wouldn't.
You wouldn't expect it.
I know the lad I played with them, I wouldn't expect it.
Oh, King JS will get the demo in. It's Cynical here to try and take point. And 35 seconds to the clock. King JS. Crisis. Both players going to press forward here inside this box. It will get close, but no cigar. Cynical inside the midfield. King JS comes in with a quick tackle. Out from that corner is as far as it will go, because this game is over. This is a 2-1 series for Exilium, looking for their 3-1. If they have a performance like this in a game 4, then it will be played exactly as the way it should be, as one final dunk down gets missed off the backboard. Crisis will try to keep it inside the box, but in the end, it will hit the floor. 6-1 for this game, and Exilium are on match point.
Well, that match was close at 5 minutes. Bar that, it was one-sided. I was worried that Exilium in game 1 that they were getting beat at 3-2. Where was their coach? Quite clearly they don't need it either. Finally warmed up. Rainmen, I don't know, maybe an off-brand X-Men, I don't know what their problem is here. They just haven't been on forms yet.
No, at least in that last game, at least they had a couple of good opportunities. They've had, the first couple of games were at least looking close enough. Which is that obviously since that point, not quite worked out the way that they would have wanted it to here, Danny. And again, that 6-1 is kind of case in point right there of Exilium really taking control. I guess they were the favourites in this series. I certainly could have seen an opportunity coming in from the other boys, but I think that at the end of the day, we mostly kind of expected Exilium to be the team that took control of this one, I think.
Yeah, it's a simple case if you win on paper, you win Exilium maybe 3-2, 3-1, they were that good, but with Rayman the way they've been performing, the first one was decent, the second one, alright, only 1 goal loss. Wasn't necessarily a huge problem, but every flaw that's humanly possible that the Raymen did have was exposed. That's the worry.
Game 4. And again, they are in the driver's seat on that Exilium side. Let's see if they can close this one out confidently and put this series to bed here to kick off their season, looking for their 1-0 lead. So, kickoff time. Crisis challenges clean, and Gooch tries to follow up here inside the orange half. Labyrinth finds the shot instead as he tries to get a fake out. It's King JS there with a quick save, and a demo as well against Gooch. Very fast-paced stuff coming in as Gooch and King JS just shove each other out of the way over that spawn position on the left-hand side of the net. Crisis also up, back down into Cynical's position. Clean will be beating out one as Cynical takes it over to the orange corner. King JS there with a receival. Gooch can challenge him, so again, Rainmen getting things started off on the right foot in these games, but towards the end of it, they start to slow down. They're not going to find the opening goal either, because Labyrinth, a sleeper spy unit for Exilium, it seems, comes in and saves it in the orange net.
Well, at least they were able to save something. At least that's a benefit, yeah. Bit of practice that they desperately needed in game 3. Just can they keep it up?
4 minutes. Plenty of time to readjust, but plenty of time for Exilium obviously to score their own goal of the same. It's Crisis to the midfield. Labyrinth will try and turn it back around off the backboard. Good play in from King JS will take it away from his contention. Now Cynical will try and chase this one. It's clean. Over to the side, Cynical will try and get involved in this, and King JS will be there to back him up, but challenged again. The 50-50s from Gooch also look good. Cynical looking for a second touch, that's on, but it's pushed away by Clean using the crossbar as a rebound. But no more than this here. The defensive is holding true for the moment here for the Rainmen side.
So far, at least the build-up, as you said, from the moment of the first kickoff here, that was better for Rainmen. Again here, they're just overcommitting, they're just overlapping each other's lines. It haven't spread out well enough, and it's just decent enough here by Gooch mostly. Get that sort of mid-line block, keep the pressure up to send another long ball in, test what Exilium has. The only problem is Exilium will get bored and figure out at least one play and get that early goal. said earlier, at this point, at least they're convincing and dictate how the rest of this game is going to play out.
Oh, backboard from King JS getting close towards the strike though. The second opportunity will be saved by Gooch. Third man coming in is not going to be allowed a shot. Christ actually remains in the midfield for it. Sets up Cynical to boom it back down to the corner, but challenge is still good enough. Labyrinth wrapping around from the sideboard. It's Crisis dribbling it up. Again, Clean will try and defend inside this box. Demo's in against Labyrinth. Gooch also finds a demo out of his own right. Labyrinth will push this over to the orange half, and again this first half of the game is going to be without a single goal from Exilium or the Rainmen. Cynical tries to change that, but he's just not got enough accuracy behind his car to go for the shot in there. So returned. Okay, I thought that one was on for Labyrinth, but it was a bit too far wide, and Crisis will get off a little bit easy in this one. Again, nothing being scored as we go to the last 2 minutes of the game.
Well, so far somewhat impressive, but it hasn't came from solid defense. It's just the attacking has slightly simmered down on the potency behind it. But here, Zillion, either that's a deliberate back pass or just fortuitous where it lands, and oh, this has to go.
Too light. Too light from Gooch. Very light on the defensive as well. One player's made his way out of a failed quick clear. Crisis will go to the backboard, leaving it in for King JS. Gooch actually comes out and holds the defensive clear, so not quite the way they would have wanted it to go here, but returned in that orange half. Again, Clean leaving it for Gooch to try and put it back inside the box. There will be a very light touch in. Cynical takes that off to the side. It's still exploitable here by Gooch. He's got 10 points of boost, so can't make too much progress forward with it. 60 seconds remaining here, Danny. Time is of the essence before we go to an overtime. Labyrinth, big miss from him though. He could have outfaked the defensive to get out goal in the board, but not going to happen for the reigning men. Again, Clean missing, not going to happen. No opportunities on the offense.
Well, so far that's the first shot he's really put on.
Finally.
I don't know what the pre is here.
It took a while, let's put it that way. Very light touches and unconfident touches, I think, here, mate.
Well, at least there's one benefit that at least the Raymen did have. They at least know how to find the net and not saving their own shots. Oh, Exilium. That would just really just put in the ointment. Sting their opposition when necessarily needed at the utmost. And Kings, oh, this is beautiful.
Oh, no! What a challenge from King JS. Clean. He tried his best. He really did try his best, but no. 20 seconds and King's got himself a nice opening for his team and one to get back inside the match now. 10 seconds to the clock, the box uncontested. Clean's going to try and return all the same here for the Rain men. Zillion hold the defensive here and try and get us to an overtime at least. It's their best bet, and that's exactly what they'll do here, Danny.
Well, OT, at least it's justified. Didn't think the Rain men deserved to win at 1-0, especially the way they did achieve that, but Exilium is getting them back onto that one golden goal scenario, and again, so the Exilium case is not Raymen fully dictating from the kick-off like they usually want to do, keep the pressure firm and mean clean. It's just absolutely had a horrendous first touch there too.
Cynical in the midfield, going to contest against Gooch. Good flick back to Labyrinth, but he could not connect the shot, and King JS is still lurking in the midfield line, going to try and contest against these guys. Cynical again in recovery positions, will tee it off for Crisis to come forward, but Gooch and the clear away. King inside, Labyrinth on the backboard again. King JS again being beaten out. Oh, Gooch, he saves it! It's followed up by Clean. And Rain then just about pushes to game 5 for this series here, Danny.
Didn't know we were playing pinball. That's this. It shouldn't happen. That's madness. That's just poor defensive structure. Crisis got lucky in some sense, the ball ricocheted out, but The fact that this went into the full distance was expected to an extent, but the way it's played out on paper, it's just... I don't know what to say, Jay, really.
I mean, no, neither do I, to be honest. That was a bit of a slow little matchup coming in from both sides, and in the end it allowed Rain Men the game that they need to stay alive. It's game 5 to decide who will be in with the victory for the 3rd match of the week. And we have a 4th match coming up after this one, so you definitely want to stay tuned after that. Exilium, however, such confidence in that 3rd game, could not bring the same out for game 4, and we'll see whether or not they can return it for game 5 as we kick things off again in the orange half. Rainman had a majority of pressure in that last game. Indeed, Labyrinth with the control here might be able to allow that coming in for this one. It's clean, however, with the defensive, and Gooch can return. That ball's high, and Crisis will be able to clear it out alongside Cynical, turning it over to the blue half on the bad ball. In fact, is how far he'll go with it. So a couple of decent pings back from Exilium, but they're going to need to find some sort of way to work in. King JS has bumped everybody, and Cynical can take advantage once again. I love the start from Exilium. When it works so beautifully.
I'm disappointed with Labyrinth. He was the only one he didn't get bumped.
Of course you are.
And if there's a fault in the defense, Jay, I'm picking it out. The players know who was at fault, and they have to do better. They must do better, and the fact that that goal went in, yes, the bump came in, yes, the shot was as easy as it did, but it has to be a sweep and clear from that side, and they did not achieve it, and they have to now feign 1 goal. They might need 2 at this current moment.
Labyrinth demoing out here for the Rainmen side, returning to Gooch. A good strike down, but Crisis pings that momentum back out of the net and back out of the box. As Clean is going to try and recover it, put it right in a point blank, but a good couple of challenges follow up from Gooch is denied by Cynical here on the defensive, and Labyrinth will turn around. Crisis coming up, now dribbling up against Clean, going to wrap back around from the corner, put it into King JS's position, or at least a little bit further back of it. Awkward challenge from Cynical as well, could leave Clean with a decent chance, tease it up and over, and he did not even need Labyrinth. A good couple of touches in from the cleanest player on the board. Rainmen back in at 1-1.
Well, filthy little touch that was. I enjoyed that. Well spotted, realised the defence was scrambling all the way back, got within it, 90 seconds going. And a few additional moments with 1 apiece here in a game 5 decider too. Oh, this is going to be so.
Labyrinth in that corner, Cynical. Himself around, Gooch will sideboard, bounce it. King JS again going to come forward and try and pinch it out of the way, but it's into unsupported no man's land at that midfield. Crisis will come forward eventually and beat out one of the defenders, but that could have easily been Rainmen in control. All up from Gooch again, will be pushed out. King JS with the backboard. Cynical's already committed. It's going to be left to Crisis to try and recover the goal, but he won't be able to do so. Cynical, no points of boost, will get inside the box. All 3 players are there as well from the blue side defense, and plays in again from the Exilium side will leave them with a nice simple clear from Rainman. Clean up, Cynical over to the corner in position. And Clean tees off, Crisis puts it back, but not enough effort here and not enough pressure from Exilium for a goal.
Well, the issue that I originally had with stems from Kings clear.
Oh!
You can gasp as much as you want and gasp even more, because that back pass was luxurious of a moment, but what I was going to say was King's original clear caused that pressure, should have calmed it down, let Crisis rotate back in lane and rebuild onto this one, and this should be shot, and King's...
Oh, what a clutch!
That's keeping it to the last second.
Gooch demoed out, Labyrinth there with a big save off the back of what should have been a perfect setup for Exilium, but no, just denied the last second. Clean will press forward, try and look for a goal back in again, getting up close to the point blank position inside that box. Tried this a couple of times, but it's not always worked out. Gooch trying to set up Clean for a clean shot, but in the end it's denied by King JS all the same, alongside Crisis here, trying to find a clear out from the Exilium side. I've been struggling with these clears so far, though. Again, Rainman with all the pressure to work with. Just cutting it off at the midfield and returning. Nice shot in from Labyrinth, just denied by Crisis there. And no points to boost left alive for the Exilium side. I feel like Rain Men are really doing a good job of starving them of those back 200s. Gooch in, good shot, blocked off again by King JS. So we approach the last minute of the matchup here, Danny. We could be on for yet another overtime unless a last-second goal comes in from either squad.
That'll be a bit of heroics for Exilium if they get to that point. Talking about the 200 boost, yes, it's well done, but they're not trusting each other. They always seem to be finding a way, overextending each other's play. Just need a fit to hold the ball, have the second man challenge, and it's a simple 1-2 clearance. That big Crisis is a little bit desperate, trying to find a little bit of extra yardage onto the ball. Just need to keep it close to your own teammates at this point. Do not overextend. Keep it basic, keep it simple. And this big Crisis is hold on to the ball for another attack of your own.
No boost for him to carry it further forward. Cynical will try and recover the position alongside King JS in the midfield control. Bumps slightly out, so his touch out to the corner will not allow any pressure. Gooch, meanwhile, great flicks back, is pushed down to the floor by Crisis. This could be Clean's opportunity to strike, but couldn't get into position in time. So Cynical coming in from the corner. Denies on Labyrinth. King JS will take it to the other side corner. Good challenge again inside the box. Clean will just push it out of the way, and Cynical won't bother to save it. Game 5 overtime. Next goal will take the series here. It's Clean. Tries to start things off in the orange half. The back of the kickoff will not work out well for him though. Crisis with a great dribble up, and King JS in the back lines to respond to it. Demos in, backboard play, where's Cynical? He's there, but he's too late to the party.
Well, might be for the time being, but Exilium a bit more wiser to their own self. A few passes. And that by Labyrinth, good clear distance, however, into the middle, and Clean will respond. But again, playing the pressure into the green where Exilium are attacking from. It has to be smarter. And Clean, don't know if that was brains or bronze on that moment, but at least for the time being, it slows it down.
Corner in again from Exilium. Been working for the most part here on a lot of these offensive plays. Cynical up, Clean will bounce out to the orange side corner this time as Gooch, which is up and inland, plays in again to the other side of the box. It's a bit too aggressive and fast from Rayman to stop a decent offensive play, but again, they've got that pressure to work with, and Labyrinth might even have a double touch, not quite. Tease it back over to Gooch, who follows suit again to the back. Cynical beats out Labyrinth as well, but no boost. Got to get that 100. Got to carry this forward and try beat out Clean, but Clean gets his touch off, and that'll just be enough to take it in. King JS with a shot. Gooch with a clear, up to Clean for the pass down. Dunk down chance. No, Crisis just about denies here for Exilium. You can see the difference in the attacking forces though. Exilium struggling, they get themselves set up. Meanwhile, Rayman only need a clear, and they've got players all the way up. Dribble plays and everything to get close. The defensive from Exilium, the rotation's barely holding on.
Thinning themselves down unnecessarily too. The Esther trying to play from the flank, keep the pressure going. Near enough working this time around, but they need to be a little bit more compact. Play the ball short, find each other out, and trust that the ball's going at this point. But that one save just kept the Rain Men in.
The wrap around here, King JS. Good challenge from Labyrinth. Up and over to the right. Clean contesting. It's Gooch. Up inside the midfield. Labyrinth down, looking for his second pinch off the floor, but Crisis gets in time. 12 points to boost for him. He's got to try and wrap back over, leave it to Cynical. Good shot coming through, and King JS will move it back out again. 2.5 minutes of overtime at this stage here. And Labyrinth to go off the backboard to try and end it off. Clean back into Gooch. Great passing play. Back to Clean, but it's way too wide. Oh dear. So many great opportunities for Rainman, but they're all being wasted over and over again.
The question then really relies on how many chances really do they want before Exilium will counter and score. It just feels like that type of game where Exilium, when they get it, they will take it. And there it is, upsets it up. That's a brilliant one in the rotation. Where is it, Exilium, when you really needed it?
Backboard play, Clean can't defend it, but he just gets in on the challenge instead. Throws Cynical's accuracy off kilter. Crisis goes off to the corner once again. King JS will get beaten out by Labyrinth. Clean comes in and over to the box, going to try and dribble it against him. Again, Cynical there for a challenge, so returning the favor all the same. Demos out, Cynical out of play for the next few seconds. Rory spawned in time to get to the defense because now Gooch has got a breakaway. There's Cynical with a quick pinch back over, but no more supporting players from the Exilium side. Crisis bounced out. Cynical goes up to try and receive it, but Labyrinth's got a lot more momentum behind his car and can very quickly get into the offensive attack. Back over to Crisis, clean in the midfield to receive it. 70 points to boost, tease it back on a secondary touch, but Crisis again for the defense and doing a lot of the heavy lifting so far in this game. A ball set up by Cynical again is going to get defended by Labyrinth. Just over and over again, so many attacks just held off by either mistakes, lack of some sort of element missing in the attacking force, or just great defensive. Either way, it's kept us going for nearly a 6th game of action here between Exilium and Rainmen.
Back and forth, as you said, on the kilter. But again, I'll tell you this, it's not good defense, it's just struggling to see the ball, hit the ball, try to kill it middle, force it into say, yes, there are all elements of it, but not well enough to string the pressure on. It really will become to the boost conservation. That will be at the 7-minute mark, but forget that. Exilium cannot even keep this one out.
Labyrinth back down to clean, and the one man in the back line whiffing too far forward in that case, and Rainmen will finally take one up above the Exilium side, and that's a surprise to me considering how well Exilium did over in that game 3, how confident they were in game 3, and now it seems to have all but dissipated here by the time we've hit game 5. GGs are regardless in order for the Rainmen though. They put up a hell of a fight to try and hold their own.
They did give credit where it's due. They thought through the adversity, the adaptive that Exilium did put through it, but Exilium, they should learn how to spread their goals out more, because that's what cost them.
Yeah, I do have to agree there were some mistakes being made by the Exilium side. In the end, it will be them losing the first game of this Group B action. That's not all the action we have for you tonight. Over in Group A, we have one final game to bring you. PI versus Stay Fresh. It's coming up in a short couple of moments' time, so do not go anywhere after this break. Rocket Kingdom TV will continue. Oh, sorry, Rocket Kingdom TV will return, and the RKNC will continue. Welcome back to Rocket Kingdom. Welcome back to the RKNC Premier Division. We're ready to get into our final match of the night. We've got Stay Fresh versus PI. I'm the Eternal J. I'm joined by Danny. How you doing, man?
I'm not doing too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. And hopefully this match will also be pretty good as we have some fine talent to close out the night here for the first week of the league play action. Over on the blue side, we've got PI. Over on orange, it's all Stay Fresh at this stage. We've got a fun couple of matches available for us, including Cash standing in from the Notorious Legion side, who very well may have given the edge to the PI side as they take the early aggression here. We've got Danny trying to go for the offensive play. I didn't know you managed to play and cast at the exact same time, mate.
Well, that's how good I was, but I'm decided to play with one hand to make it interesting and fair for them.
How are you handling communication out there? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I'm just muting using TeamSpeak.
Nice. Matt in with the first shot coming out here for the Stay Fresh side. Swift will follow suit and eventually get that first in for the Stay Fresh side.
That wasn't my fault in defense, that was Rapper.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
That's an opener again for the orange side, but, well, I guess he's made up for his mistakes in the defense here, Danny. 1-1 back on the board. Rafa off the back of the kickoff that, of course, you did set up. It's going to be enabling a quick equalizer in the first minute.
Oh, it was fabulous. It was all me that set it up, and frankly, that just bamboozled the opposition. Just was scared of Raptor when he had the ball.
It's Matt here with control in the midfield, trying to gain some sort of control alongside Matt's Gray. Flip reset. Well, trying his best to go for it, but not going to happen here. Set up from Swift instead, goes out to the left-hand side, and Raffro off to the sideboard. Matt's Gray in, going to bounce out over at the midfield. Matt got the 64 points of a boost and back into the box. Matt's Gray will go in with a pretty booming shot, but Raffro there's there to hold a good defensive this time. Swift back down in, set up here by Raffro, a bit high, unable to follow suit of the third man.
This is a good transition straight over Cash. So unfortunately, there's going to be a simple transition over. And frankly, the fact that they haven't scored by that. Oh, come on, Swift, you can do better than that.
Ever the harsh man, ever the harsh moment. Ever the harsh reality for Stay Fresh, still only in at 1-1, evened out on the scoreboard. Still 3 minutes to go on the clock, anything can happen, so let's not count them out just yet, but Stay Fresh certainly have been playing a back and forth game against their opponents in PI. PI trying to maintain a lot of the offensive pressure here early on. Cash will miss out. Raffro will contest it towards the corner. It will bounce. Followed up by Matt, however, will push it into the blue side corner. Matt, big miss on his part, actually. Could have gained control of this one, but Matt's Gray will be able to return it. Raffro turns it back into Cash's position. He might pick up this 100 boost at the midfield and carry this ball further forward. Pushed that up the discourse server by Matt, so he's not going to allow a whole lot of room to breathe.
It's absorbing, at least from PI's point of view, too. He's getting a few opportunities to move that ball around, but give credit here to Cash, who's been that star player, that slightly one that tipped the balance into your favour. I think it's going to be 3-0 when it was polar. At this point here, it should be quite one-sided, you would imagine, with Cash, but calm, collective, and that's what he should bring out towards his team, and clear. Follow through onto the ball should at least open an avenue of an attack here, but Matt's Gray through possession away too.
Again, this ball being played up over to the corner. Cash challenging Swift, backball playing towards Matt's Gray. He misses out his touch though. Matt can try and follow suit, but Matt's Gray swings back around. In the end, it's Cash with control now, beating out one, trying to flick back in against the likes of Swift, but Swift out with the defensive instead. Raffro setting up Danny, pushed out by Matt over to Swift. Big commitment there from PI, should allow an open net, but Cash gets back with a clutch save on the line, disallowing the breakaway goal from Stay Fresh, instead of allowing a counter-attack from PI as Cash gets so close towards the box. Chance available for Danny, but pushed far out by Matt's Gray instead.
Barry, there was no if, buts, or maybe. There was enough window of an opportunity for Danny to slap that one home, but he'll at least get a few opportunities. Pops around, takes two, tries a demo, but again, where's the line of support if you're going to willing and gamble on one player attacking that heavily? Have to have a second man supporting it.
Well, Swift beaten out by Danny, putting it back into the midfield. Matt tees it off and tries to take it away from Cash. In the end, he follows out as Swift goes in with a quick challenge. Raffo up and over to the sideboard, pushed out in the end by another. 30 seconds left. Cash, from Matt, great. Matt gonna follow out again, try and get out of the back line to break away into the blue half, but PI have done a really good job at defending against them here. They're backing over to the box. Danny will tee it up, Cash being beaten, and Matt Spray puts it back down. Rafa's got to back past that one, but they've still got a lot of pressure. Matt back in towards the box. 5 seconds left, and he's got control. Sifts it up to Shift, but pushed away by Cash. That ball should hit the floor. Actually, Matt Spray keeps it alive just before that 1 second marker. And finally, Danny pushing it over to the corner as it hits the floor, and we're in overtime for game one.
Surprised by the scoreline being so low, projecting 3-2, how quickly this game could be. But give credit here, it was actually Cash keeping PI into this, and this
What?
is a defensive tragedy. Unfortunately, deserves to be punished for, simple as that.
Wow. Danny was a bit too far forward on that one. Way too far forward, unfortunately. Not the best situation in the world for him. But obviously conceding that one back to the blue side of the court here. It's a 2-1 on the board to start things off for the PI guys. Regardless, though, a decent offensive being set up by their opponents.
Well, for the most part, I wouldn't say it's been outstanding from what we've seen in the quality. I think the Exilium and the Rain Man has provided the better so far on the attack and Perez for the most part. But stay fresh, they kept it close. That's the main thing. They shouldn't be discouraged at all. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just execute it a little bit better, and well, we'll see how good Cash's defense is.
Swift trying to start things off in the blue half. Big misses coming in from PI though. Raffo gonna contest and put this one into the midfield. Danny comes up, pushed back down, but won't go so far. So out here towards the corner board. Matt Gray puts it in, and Matt trying to follow back around. Good play up again off the backboard. Danny will be there with a quick save. Matt Gray goes inside the box, but unable to go much further than that. Quick return from Cash, maybe able to find a decent goal in here, but Swift is quick to deny alongside Matt, who can turn it back into the backboard. Follow-up from the other, well, actually from Swift, excuse me. The first goal being scored by Stay Fresh as they do outpace PI.
Well, here's the worry that Raffo trying to bring himself around. Yes, it might seem good, but he was actually on the right side before it in. He has to realize the pass is coming, and Swiss only has one option, is play where he is. Should have stood still realistically there. Beating the keeper in that situation is always going to be put behind him. Very few ever change that.
Absolutely. A minute in, it's only one being scored by Stay Fresh, but that may well be enough, considering how back and forth these games were in terms of just their offensive and defensives. The ball's positioning was as well. But Matt will look for one more just to secure the situation. So 2-0 on the board now for the Stay Fresh boys, as PI are struggling now. Very, very severely struggling, I want to say.
It's just... I know you Stay Fresh have at least something in them to keep the pressure, keep the attack. I know I said if they execute it better, it would be an interesting series. The fact that they've squashed PI into that defensive blockade, not able to get out, really is showing what they are capable of, why they deserve the spot in the Premiership itself, but it looks very one-sided, and that's the scary thing about it too.
Danny with a dribble play, will denied by Swift. Cash will come back in with a very light touch, and actually I thought the defensive was there to back him up, apparently not. PI returning the favour. I think this is the double commit there from Matt and Swift that left it open, so there you go. Stay Fresh being brought within one of their leads, so it's not quite as confident as they would have thought they would have been, and they're not as confident as I thought they would have been, but either way. It's ball inside the corner as Cash pushes it over to the midfield. Follows suit again against Max Gray, who tees it up towards Swift. Block off again for the next man. Back down towards the corner, Cash! Okay. That was a very nice shot, and a very nice pass as well from Raffro.
Sit back and marked. Beautiful. Wonderful. It's a shame it was in free play. There was not even a keeper in sight. What a waste.
You're a really hard man to please, I swear, Dan.
I know.
Speaking of hard men to please, Matt's not pleased with that offensive from Danny. Took this one up to the midfield. Matt's Gray pushes it into the midfielder once again. Danny will try and take it to the corner, and Matt will wrap back around with 40 points of boost and beating out two of the defenders, not the third man. And in the end, the ball goes way too far wide for a shot anyway. Matt's Gray will still contest it here. Cash will come up and look for a quick counter-attack against Swift. Danny's going to rotate back out and get caught in rotation, so that's allowing Matt to go higher for the backboard. Second opportunity for Matt's Gray. And just over the half-time marker, stay fresh, will be able to regain the lead against PI. Again, very scrambled and awkward defensive positions on the blue side of the court.
Moment that Danny basically went for boost, he should have realised he was rotating back as third man. The reason why he cut back fourth, don't know. Was there something in the comms? Or whoever did it called it wrongly and it poorly punished, capitalised on that mistake. Hopefully, shouldn't be much of an issue. Half the game, give or take, one goal. Shouldn't be a huge aspect with the lineup they have got, but it will be Cash trying to bury them away from another mistake.
It's Cash and Swift contesting each other off the backboard. Danny with a bit of a miss. Rafa will take this one up high against Cash. Matt will contest, try and pinch this one back in for a decent shot. He comes close, but no cigar. Cash wrapping around again. Matt's Gray. Let's press them back over to the backboard, the back line, and the back box. It's midfield control for Rafa. Challenge again by Matt's Gray. That's on target. That's a 4-2 for Stay Fresh, guys.
I don't understand why this decision making by Danny. Why attack a ball third man? You're leaving a 2/3 of your net wide exposed, and you're not even guaranteed you're going to get to the ball first. It's just desperation slipping in after a defensive mistake at the halfway line when trying to go forward. It's another case of can they get 2 more goals to bring it back before OT.
Minute and 30 to try and get there. Matt. It's Raffro. Cash try wrap back around. Good pinching from Matt. That sets up Swift. In the control of the right-hand side of the net. No one accounted for it. Not even Cash could get there. Going for the boost above the ball. That's a 5-2. Again, things are falling apart for PI.
Disintegrating would be the word I would personally use myself. It's not the right play. You try to slow it down, try to force the 50. The moment that you bring it into it, you really are gambling. And it's just always going to go horrible against the defender. The fact that Raffro's going to get beaten into the wall, Danny's far too back to support Cash's offense. It just really needs a full, complete game now to reset for PI.
60 seconds before they have to get there. Good strike from Danny, though, so it's not quite over just yet. 2 goals to make up in 60 seconds. That'll be difficult, but it's certainly within the realm of possibility.
No, they won't.
All right, fine, sure, whatever. 58 seconds on the clock. Danny does not think it's going to happen. I hold a bit more, not faith, but I hold a bit more stock, or at least a bit more hope in PI. It's Danny, goes up, Cash trying to receive it, passing back to the midfield, over towards Raffro. Danny going to try and receive it, but a bit too high for him. Raffro puts it up over to the left-hand side of the block. Swift will get it over to Matt's Gray. Matt's Gray takes it and pinches it off the wall rather than returning it to the other half. That allows Raffro another second opportunity. Back in the right-hand side, no more support to that corner. Cash will try find his way in, puts it down instead of putting it on, but that might still open up a chance. Are you so sure, mate? Are you so sure?
Yes, I am, and the fact that Raffro was given a free lift to Swift and Matt's Gray. Was there a lorry that break down a small AA van too? Just despicable decision making. You just, with the quality of the pitch on that opposite side of north, they should be able to. They will be able to do it. 20 seconds here. If PI gets away with this.
Oh, well, that goal from Matt going to be denied by Danny. Now he's got to try and find a quick clear away. Mick can't get control of the ball, though. Puts back in by Matt Gray. Pass back around towards Danny. He's got 70 points to boost. Got to go in with a full aerial. Bumped out, receivable, miss, close to the crossbar, but Matt Gray takes control, tries to kill it on the floor. Kept alive by Cash for the moment. Got to be a quick dunk down shot. Danny's going to wait back in the midfield. He's expecting this to be played up, and he could not keep it alive. So stay fresh, avoid disaster by the skin of their teeth. And they will claim us back to an even series at 1-1 on the series board.
Called it.
Right, don't tell me you didn't think for a second that maybe, just maybe, they may have put it above that crossbar.
No, I was more worried about Swift with his pad defense more than anything else, but other than that, no. Statistically speaking, they shouldn't get 2 goals at that point. The fact that they got 1 is just even beyond belief. Right.
I find it so impressive how cynical you really can be. It's incredible, Danny.
You should see me when I'm coaching.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. I feel bad for any team that gets coached by you here, mate. The game 3. The morale certainly seems to be high in the Stay Fresh camp after that one. The same can also be said for PI, though. Almost come back on the comeback. It's Matt, however, starting things off looking for that opening offensive play. In the end, the backline's cleared out by him, and Matt Graves allowed a shot, but Cash rotating back to hold the defense. Swift will come forward, beat out Danny. Backboard playing towards Matt. Again, all should be challenged by PI, and Matt's great. Take it out to the side, try and challenge again. Ooh, that's a booming little clear, but enough players back far enough to Stay Fresh to keep the defense in check and disallow any awkward clears coming in from the blue side of the court.
These by Rafro, well spotted. Third man, bring it to the side wall. Slow it down, let his 2 teammates get back in time for the rotation. It's a shame. Ties, however, a little bit too slow. Cash, however, the player in form, able to do so quickly, puts the pressure on. That's good to see. We just see Danny, well, missing the ball by some considerable margin.
Demo in, Cash will pass out towards Raf, rotating up and over, missing out on 2 players, but Matt pushes it out instead of going for anything flashy, just basic and confident. Matt's great, back in towards Matt off the post, it's right there, and the follow-up from Swift is also going to get denied. Rafro challenged by Matt once again. Swift comes in to try and recover the situation, but the pressure will be relieved by PI for the moment. Matt back into the midfield, and Cash will go over to the corner board, bumps in from Danny, will push it out, and Matt's Gray will contest. Raffro back down inside that box. Danny will try and wrap back around. 100 points of boost picked up inside the corner. A follow up from Swift, eventually goes past them to Stay Fresh, start things off on the board.
Credit where it's due, good attacking here. At least with Matt's great pressure and enforcing after the jump. Didn't know necessarily whether the bump, maybe a way of dice to get into that situation. Forces again the defense was breaks down too easily for my liking, but even still, 1 goal margin, still possible to come back for PI.
Danny doing this one right up to the line. Raffro and Cash up and over. Can't beat out the midfield play from Stay Fresh. The demo's in. Danny barely getting that one out of the way. Raffro's got to find a quick clear because that's easily challenged by Matt Gray and co. Second challenge from Danny. This could be his opening chance. He whiffs it. Follow up from Cash does go in though. And that RLRS experience just able to hold them into this one at 1-1.
If they say they called the fake, don't believe them. That was a miss.
I'm just not going to add anything anymore, mate. I'll just leave you to continuously insult the teams and the players.
It's not insult, it's insight. There's a difference.
Oh, give me some insight as to how this one went down, Danny boy.
Well, quite clearly, Danny missed the ball. It's as simple as that. He either removed his glasses or forgot how to save the ball.
Are you saying that that's you, that you forgot how to save the ball and remove your own glasses?
I wouldn't be in that situation. Why do you think I ended up in the casting booth in the first place?
It's your name on the board, mate. It's you. It's you in the server. Come on, dude.
All right, to get this imposter out, and we'll show you how it should be done.
Danny passing back down. Second challenge from Rapthro does not go well. Cash tries to follow suit. Double commit there on the defensive, but no punishment again from PI. Rapthro over to Cash on the sideboard. Going to try and get back over to Rapthro. Cash goes in with a solo play as Rapthro double commits to that, wastes a bit of boost. Danny beating out one, trying to challenge onto Matt's Gray. In the end, Matt's there back to receive it, sets it up for Matt. And Cash, backboard, got to take that to the side. I thought for a second he was going for a double touch. That would have been the wrong goal. Eventually finds his way back out against Matt. Swift is still in the midfield and he'll contest against it. Cash again setting up to the backboard, cleared away by Matt's Gray. So no opportunities for PI to get back into this one with the demos coming out of the midfield. They should be able to find a way into the blue half. Matt's Gray again contested by Cash. Double commits coming in from the PI side. Really, their line is crumbling and things are not looking great for them. A good goal, a good shot, I should say, coming out from Cash, but denied by Matt's Gray on the line.
The fact that Rapthro and Danny has been playing together in this PI role is outstanding, to give credit to them. It's actually Cash that's got him in a big giant backpack and just said, all right, lads, where do you want to go? Because they absolutely been saving their backsides through this entire series.
Got another goal in this one, 2-2. Stay fresh. Equalised all thanks to the back of Cash, and he'll contest on the defense. Swift coming in close, backboard play, pushed out, follow-up from Matt's Gray. Does not go in the back of the net either. Danny, 5 points of boost, 60 seconds left, passes it over to Cash. Again, over to the corner board, big miss coming in from Matt. Oh, a boomer right on target from Rapthro, and he's not the only person that can score there. 3-2, PI are back in the lead.
Decent, well responded, but again, Swift should have got a 50. That's the only thing that should be on your mind. Not a clear, not a pass, it's just get the 50. Your last man of fact, you have to be aware of that. If not, the comms should be there coming in at that point. That's the worry, and PI just needs to park the bus now.
45 seconds, and Matt's Gray is desperately trying to shift that bus into gear. Open up the back door. Hit that emergency start button. Matt's Gray alongside nobody. Swift is there behind him. The demos are coming in though. He back passes over to the orange half. It's not where you want to be here. Stay fresh. Ball passed inland meanwhile from PI as Matt's Gray goes up. Swift going to try and look for a dunk down chance. He'll come close to the backboard. Two players caught up in the same position. Follow up from Matt's not going to follow suit either. Cash has got a nice open net to shoot for. It's just pinched off the crossbar. They're back down the center line of the final countdown here. Fresh needs to make their way out. A big booming clear, but Danny blocks it. Follow up from Matt's Gray. Got a nice center line position. Cash is going to try and take control. Steals that 100 boost and tries to keep it away from the net. Matt will keep it alive for his efforts though. Swift up 40 points of boost. Rapthro got to get followed in from. Swift's got a bit of a chance available to him. Shoots to score. Matt keeps it alive though. And demos in from Danny will try bump him out. Matt's Gray 30 points of boost. Both players caught in the same position. And in the end, was caught out by bumping each other out of the way. So it will be PI with a 2-1 lead now here in this matchup. A nice effort coming in from Matt and co to try and keep it alive at halftime though.
I was extremely worried there for a second, the former PI, why keep the ball up in that situation? It was just simply, that was just beyond belief. You have the chance to kill the game and move on. There was no need for that.
In the end, there was an opportunity available for the back foot team to try and reclaim their position in the front foot. Didn't quite work out for them. And again, that is PI up on match point. One more game for them to win, for them to close out the night on a high note. And so far, Rapthro will start things off on a high note. Going for the quick shot early on here. The saves will still be in play for Fresh as Cash comes up and over challenges again against Matt. Inside that corner, Matt's Gray will come out of the way. Rapthro back in, passing up towards Danny. Couldn't quite get to the ball in time. Matt, Swift, both players combined. Swift going to try and beat out the likes of Cash, but Cash there with a decent defensive. Danny now from this corner, charging on Matt. Backboard play again, leaves it for the dunk down chance. It's actually taken to the side by inaccurate touches from Stay Fresh. Big miss from Swift as well, coming in for Cash for a chance to dunk down. Leaves it right there inside the box, but no one can recover here for PI. So 0-0 in the first 45 seconds, and probably past the first minute here.
Well, from that little moment, it's only been Cash really has been the difference between the two. Decent block, decent save. Kept it in the corner, everything that you should be doing, you've done it right, but again, PI struggling to get this ball out there, playing it into the corner. That's good, at least in some sense. They're aware enough the dangers is coming. The only problem here is, Jay, the ball's being pinged, and never enough. Just sucking all the oxygen out of this defense too.
Danny, onside Cash. Back downfield as Matt Gray follows suit against him. Tee up from this man. Moving close and aggressive, trying to solo dribble it in. He got it. Stay Fresh. Thought 2 players in the back line would have been enough, but apparently not.
I wouldn't be celebrating that goal. It's one, yes, it gets you the chance, it gets you to say match point series win into it, but you have 2 defenders running back, you take the goal, you move on, and you make sure that you keep the pressure, keep attacking. The fact that one of the players in PI was celebrating that is almost like they won the series. They haven't yet.
Oh, Matt Gray down to Swift. Second touch is not going to ping off the backboard or ping into the back line. It does go off the backboard instead. Swift now looking for a second opportunity. It should be down here to tee up and over. Matt Gray will try and contest it, puts it back inside the box, looking for a second chance, but no. Cash there, holding the defense, wrapping around for a save. Demoed for his trouble. Matt will get back out to pick up the 100 boost in the other side corner. Raffro here against them. Matt challenged. Matt Gray moving in. Cash will take this one high off the ceiling, flick it back in towards Danny's position. They're going to miss out on the one man, and Swift will push it over all the same. But Danny close to the backboard again, looking for a second touch, but half-time will not allow him to get any such thing. Cash over to Raffro to try and receive a shot from the pass inland, and now Swift got a breakaway. Beating out one, trying to beat out a second. Fakes a flip, but does not follow suit. Danny is able to read it and get it out of the way.
Well, if it was Danny, just play the ball really quickly, get into the middle. Doesn't do it in Cash. Oh, that's a laser beam.
Good shot from Cash. No one in position to defend it here from Fresh. All 3 players caught up inside the net. The 2-0 for PI. Swift will try shoot for one, going off the crossbar, and Danny read that one like a book. Matt with a second shot, and it's pushed out by him this time. No boost left. Matt Gray will take it to the side. PI will lose control of that ball. Raffro will chase it. Backboard playing towards Danny, who gets that shot in the end. And now we're looking at a 3-0 lead for PI. 1 minute and 46 for the Stay Fresh side to recover it. I have a feeling that they might be in the driver's seat.
Maybe at this point here, they might be getting a free taxi ride. Completely paying by, of course, Stay Fresh at this point. They haven't seen the latest couple of goals. Yes, Cash got the block. Yes, Danny has, but it's those touches, those plays that really make or break the series overall. And the fact that the shot's gone wide once more again, you can probably rewind the ball back and see how many shots gone wide from that same angle.
Back down inside the blue box. Saves are good enough. Matt Gray back in, pushed out by Cash. Follow back out to the corner instead, but touches without a hold of the backup, without a hold on the meaning for the PI side. Stay Fresh continuing to contest. Matt Gray in, going to pass out to Matt. Good sequence from those two, but a very slow and light ball allows Danny a breakaway. Another chance to score back here, trying to go for the breezy flick, but it's Swift there with a save regardless here.
Well, this is an interesting move. Rafa was doing his best impression of Gibbs, just sitting there as the permanent goalkeeper. I mean, why not two? This time it seems to be Danny and all 3 in the net. Let's see how well this pays off.
Even if it doesn't, let's put the reset back in and waste time. And, well, eventually one goal will come in for the likes of Matt. But 26 seconds to score 2 more, Danny.
I'm disappointed. That was technically a rule 2 between Rafa and Danny.
Wait, what? Keep the ball up at 0 seconds? That doesn't make any sense. How can that be rule 2?
Don't you start, Jay. There is only one rule.
Daddy. 19 seconds. As Matt comes up, 41 points to boost again, going for the flick back. Swift tries to outfake it by bumping someone out of the way, but 10 seconds left to score 1 and then a kickoff goal. And Matt's just not going to be allowed enough. We'll try flick past 1. Got to get this dribbling against Cash alongside Matt Stray, who takes it too high. And while Swift will try and get that goal in, it will not be enough to save their game here. It will be PI with a 3-1 game, a 3-1 series, I should say, and a 3-2 in game 4 to close out the night for the RKNC.
Well, on paper, I thought 3-0. I'm disappointed that they couldn't even do that, but 3-1 still good enough to get the series win. Keeps their, of course, top 3 spot. Their intentions of maybe going out to win the group in favour. They have to basically near enough go undefeated. 4-1 potentially could be good enough. How it plays out, we'll have to wait and see, Jay. And unfortunately, that's the end of today's matchups and lineups.
Indeed, yes, some interesting little matches to be seen today. Certainly some interesting sort of teams, the squads that we've seen press forward. And certainly some disappointments as well here, Danny. But all in all, I want to say a pretty good night. Some interesting ways to kick things off in the season, and I have a feeling it'll only get better from here on out. So you definitely want to be following the channel at Rocking Kingdom TV. Be back on Thursday, I believe it is, for the next league play matchup, if I'm right, Danny, yeah?
Yes, you're 100% correct.
There you go then. So make sure you tune back in next week for even more of the RKNC action. Till that point, though, I've been the Eternal Jade. This has been Danny Boy. Any final words from you before we head out?
Yes, improve your defense, boys.
As expected. We'll see you back here next week for the RKNC Week 2.